I might be going through a breakup right now. You might be going through a breakup right now. Somebody you know might be going through a breakup right now. And I don't know if anybody CC'd you on the email, but they suck. Let me tell you my problem. My problem is I can't stop thinking about it. I'm thinking about it while I'm at work, while I'm at school, while I'm trying to do homework. What are they doing? Who are they with? What are they doing with whoever they're with? I don't understand how breakups lead to the loss of appetite. And I lose sleep. Eating and sleeping are my favorite two things. That's why I hate breakups so much. And the other thing that sucks too is every time you turn on the radio, they're playing some song that reminds you that you just broke up. You used to call me, I'm a sad, like, Hotline Bling, Where Are You Now? They're even playing Justin Timberlake, Cry Me a River. Like, that song hasn't played in 97 years, but because you're going through a breakup, guess what? It's playing. And speaking of Justin Timberlake, even NSYNC broke up. It doesn't even have to be a boyfriend or girlfriend, like even best friends break up. And you know, best friend breakups can be just as devastating as boyfriend-girlfriend breakups. I've been there too. I feel like you feel on the inside. We are literally out of milk. And what really sucks for me when I break up with a girl, my biggest turn on is how a girl acts. The kind of personalities that attract me is like, you don't find those kind of girls all the time. So when I break up with a girl, I get really upset because like it's gonna take me like 5 years to find another girl that has a personality as good as yours, if not better. I dated this one girl who had a great personality, but she had these like weird pet peeves and she would always threaten to break up with me. True story, one time she told me, if you ever fart in front of me, it is over. Done finito. It would make perfect sense if we were in the 5th grade and she made that rule, but we're young adults here. I was driving down the street, girlfriend's in the car with me, out of the blue random, dead quiet, and all of a sudden I hear, and I look over and I was like, yo, I gotta dump you now. I had to like burn my car after she got out. Also, something else, there's those times where you break up with somebody. Sometimes you get that urge to just want to run out and hook up with a bunch of people. Don't do that. That's the easy button. Anybody can go do that. I hate the whole breakup process, that whole healing, and you know you're gonna be sad and go through all that. But one thing I want to say, guys, it's never okay to cut or self-harm. Don't do that either. I know a guy who got dumped and was literally staring down the barrel of a gun, super sad and depressed over this girl. Fast forward a few years, the dude is so happy and so successful, he's wiping his butt now with like $100 bills. So, IJS. Trust me, you're gonna get over this person. I'm gonna keep it 100, guys. When I'm in a relationship, I try to be the best possible boyfriend I can be. And if that relationship goes bad, I try to be the best possible ex-boyfriend I can be. Try that out. I don't think a lot of people spend time thinking about being a good ex. All right, I'm done. I love y'all's faces. Breakups suck, and I'm out. So on Instagram, 68% of y'all said I need to keep the beard. So you're gonna get it for one video and that's it. You ever let a friend or your parents borrow your car, you get your car back, and they left it on some crazy radio station? So I'm driving and my mom left the radio station on NPR. The guy on the radio is like, Disney and Universal are at war! Dang, it's a war now? Yes, it's a war, mate! I don't know if you've been paying attention, right? But everything is about lands. Harry Potter land, Star Wars land, everything's a land because they're at war. But the good thing is, the person who wins the war is the consumer, me and you, mate. Word? Word! When I worked at the studio, whenever I was greeter spot, I would just sit there thinking about all these crazy ideas for rides, because low-key, mid-key, high-key, I wanted to be an Imagineer. So it should be pretty clear what team I'm on, but Universal, let me holler at y'all real quick. I hear y'all partnered with Nintendo for Nintendo World or Nintendo Land, but if y'all don't have a 12-player interactive virtual reality Mario Kart of some sort planned, you're already sitting on a big fat L. Go all out. You need to have wind machines. When you throw an item, you physically have to use your hands to throw. If somebody throws a banana at you, I want to feel it all over my face, nom nom nom. And it would be a different ride every time, full interaction, and that's how you gotta approach rides nowadays. Universal, you can't just approach things like how you did back in the 80s, okay? Audiences are more advanced now. Here's some more advice, Universal. Stop trying to be Disney. Do some stuff that they can't do. Game of Thrones land. Just throw that, you can have that one for free. You have to add a little bit of danger. Have a ride that when you get on it, you can actually die. In the gift shop, you can have a shirt that says, I survived the Game of Thrones ride. These crackheads will buy it. Also, Disney, Universal, I don't know if you noticed, but you got a problem that's starting and it's getting kind of out of hand. People skipping, like, galore, walking through the line like, oh, yeah, excuse me, I see you guys, you're right up there. No, excuse me. I see you. I see you. And it's mostly foreigners, no tea, no shade. Anybody caught skipping in Game of Thrones land, they grab you, strip you naked, and make you walk the walk of atonement. Shame. Shame. Universal, if you want to win the war, you got to make these money moves. All right, Disney, let me holler at y'all real quick. I mean, y'all are doing great, but I have some quick little notes. All right, you guys are great at taking people and putting them into worlds they couldn't otherwise get into. That's why you have all these girls with annual passes calling up everybody like, let's go to Disney! Every single day. Let me just put something on your plate. I know it's a little bit outside of the box, okay? Sidekicks. Flounder, Abu, Olaf, Baby Yoda. Okay, follow me around the room with this. Sidekicks that you can take home. When you leave the park, you don't have to leave the park, you take it home with you. I don't know how y'all would do this. Y'all can't expect me to come up with all the ideas, but y'all figure it out. Maybe the sidekicks can go bad. Maybe they have hoarders out there. If you collect too many sidekicks, they orchestrate a prison break like they did in Toy Story 3.
All right, guys, the tunnel is done. At midnight, we're busting out of here. But what about Timon and Pumbaa? Forget about them. It's every man for himself.
Or, imagine if you go to sleep and you have a bad dream. You know like how Kylo Ren had a bad dream and Luke could sense it? And he's like, try to kill him? Imagine if you buy a Baby Yoda, take him home, have a bad dream, and you wake up and fight Baby Yoda. How awesome would that be? Insert a little bit of danger in there. These are the ideas that I'm giving y'all for free. Imagine if you paid me. But Disney, here's just one more tip. If y'all start losing the war and Universal starts kicking y'all's butt, here's just one more tip. Buy Universal. Obvious to me that they were brainwashing the employees. Let me tell you how I figured this out. I took my family to Disney one time. We were on the monorail. There was a little girl standing by the door, and I kind of twitched and put my hand out, and I was like, Madam, please stand clear of the door. Por favor, manténgase alejado de las puertas. My mom looked at me and she was like, you're failing high school Spanish, but you just fluently told that little girl to get away from the door and sit down. I don't know what you're talking about. I just blacked out. What did I say? That was the second time I ever rode the monorail. Tell me how I knew that. They're brainwashing us. Now, if Disney brainwashes their employees, just imagine for a second what they might do to the people that bring money into the parks. Think about it. From the time you drive over that invisible line and you're on Disney's property, you see over 100 subliminal Mickeys on an average trip to the park. And I would sit back and wonder what it was like for the first wave of cast members, like back in the 50s and 60s, like that first cast member that realized that something was up. Probably went to his manager like, is it just me, or is Mickey's face in a lot of places around here that it shouldn't be? Well, golly, son, what do you mean? Is everything okay? No, it's just weird because I'll work a regular shift here and then I'll clock out and go home, and every time I close my eyes, I see Mickey's face. Gee willikers, well, I better look into this right away. Give me 1 second.
He knows. Send in the cleaner.
I'm just telling y'all, watch out for the subliminal Mickeys. Do they call them hidden Mickeys now because it sounds less brainwashy? You know, the general public started finding out about this, so they decided to make it like a game, like,
Hey everybody, go see how many hidden Mickeys you can find.
The kids run off like,
Yeah, let's get Mickey tattoos on our forehead.
Oh, and before I forget, last Disney Confessions, I told you guys how amazing the Disney food was. Disney has turned me into a liar now because I went back there 2 months ago, and the food quality has gone way down. And for whatever reason, they doubled the price. You know you got a problem when me and all my black friends come to the parks and we won't even eat your chicken. I mean, that's code red. Okay, moving on. Attention would-be troublemakers that go into Disney, don't go up in there trying to be all cute. Let me tell you why. A lot of you don't know this, but Disney has secret service. I came into work one day, I'm walking up to greeter spot, and this guy in t-shirt and jeans comes up and he's like, which way did they go? Girl was like, that away! Pew! Took off. I go up to her and I'm like, what the heck was that all about?
Some punk kids just stole from one of the vendors.
And who was that guy that just came up to you?
Disney Secret Service.
What?
Disney has special security that dresses up like guests, and they blend in. Don't ever tell anybody, okay?
Okay, I won't. And see, that info changed a lot for me because this was the weekend right after I stole all the 8:30 shows. This cancels out pretty much 90% of all my other devious plots that I had in motion. And the managers, every time I came in for a shift, were still going out of their way to make my job as painful as possible. You know, I actually tried to transfer to Tower of Terror because that was my favorite ride at the time. I get to Tower of Terror, there's a 10-year wait to transfer over there. What I found out was at the time, that was the only Disney ride on any Disney property that you didn't have to smile. You could show up looking all depressed like you hate life, and it worked because it themed with the overall ride. And everybody thinks that you're just in character. People from Disneyland Tokyo were trying to get up into that ride. And to be completely honest, I loved working at Indiana Jones, so I figured if I can't get in a Tower of Terror, I'm just gonna stick it out here. But the managers would just harass me daily. It got so bad, y'all, that I had to start taking my breaks in other people's break rooms. And something I learned really quick is Disney spoils the crap out of their character performers. In my break room, we got a rinky-dink TV from 1988, a VCR, and that's it. I walk into one of these character break rooms, they got a flat screen, snack bar, Guitar Hero. A lot of you guests will never know this because you never see behind the curtain, and honestly, you know what? I'm okay with that. It's just these managers. One day, Ron humiliated me so bad in front of the entire staff, and obviously, I can't do nothing to him. He's my manager. So you know who I took it out on? The guests. So I'm at Indiana Jones, show started. We had two main rules at Epic. Don't let anybody sit in the aisles on the stairs, and don't let anybody in through the exits once the show starts. That's it. I'm posted at the second exit. This family walks up to me and Dad goes,
Yes, me and my family, we're visiting from England, and if it's not too much trouble, sir, could we just sit right over there on that empty bench, please?
Sorry, man. Once the show starts, can't let anybody in.
We've only missed 10 minutes, so we visited the other parks, and the bus just took so terribly long. We leave for the airport in about 40 minutes. If we could just sit right over there on that bench, sir, please.
Sorry, man. Can't let anybody in through the exit once the show starts.
Sir, but we're from England.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, please, I've spent all of my money on this trip. Once we get back home in England, I have to leave my family and work on an oil rig for 6 months, sir, because we have no more money.
For 6 months?
Yes, sir, please.
No.
Please, let's let me and my family in. We're from England.
No.
Please, sir. Sir, we just want to see Indy. Please, my children love Indy, sir. Please. You see that rock over there, sir? We'll even sit on the rock. Look at the sharp edges, sir. We probably cut ourselves and bleed to death on it. We don't care. Just please. Please. Please.
Let me think about it. No.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
And he turned and he started walking away with his family. I was like, Adonde, don't look. Ice cold. All right, you're just doing your job. I did take a glance over my shoulder. They didn't look happy. Fast forward 2 years, I get a job as a lifeguard working at Hard Rock Hotel, and I'm sitting up by the pool watching the water. Boom, it just hits me. It's like, dude, you ruined their vacation. That little boy was crying as he walked away. You know what? From this day on, I'm gonna go out of my way and strive to be the best employee that I can possibly be. I'm not gonna get in competition with any of my coworkers. I'm just gonna try to outdo myself. Would you guys believe that it got to the point where I was walking out of my job with $150 cash in my pocket from tips? That's unheard of as a lifeguard. I don't care if you're retail, hospitality, cast member, non-cast member. I'm gonna challenge you to be the best. I'm on the guard stand. These two girls come out looking so sexy. I get bumped off the guard stand and I start picking up towels and I make my way over to these girls. One is named Nikki and the other one is named Dee. But I'm trying to holler at Nikki. I start talking to these girls for like 15 minutes. Then I'm like, hey, y'all want anything? Like, it's on me. Water, Shirley Temple, some champagne and dinner in front of the fireplace. Like, whatever y'all need, I got you. But we'll take 2 Shirley Temples. I come back with these drinks, there's some random dudes sitting next to them trying to spit game. I'm thinking to myself, I hope you ain't trying to holler at the same girl I'm trying to holler at, bruh. Cause I can make you disappear. I'm fresh out. I know people that know people, and I'll make it look like an accident too. When the cops show up and start asking questions, I'd be like, officer, we was all hanging out. I look down at my phone, I look up, he stabbed himself. The stab wound was in his back. The dude slipped and fell backwards on a knife. There's 47 stab wounds in his back though. He's a clumsy dude, I don't know. My shift's over, I go to wardrobe, change into my street clothes, and then go back out to the pool deck. Now just doing that alone, I can get written up for. No fraternizing with the guests. Next day comes. These girls are by the pool deck all day long. So same deal, whenever I get free time, I go over and talk. Me, Danny, Dee, and Nikki. My shift's over, street clothes, back out to the pool deck. See, here's the thing, up until this point, I've never hooked up with a guest. I'm not trying to get fired over smooching with this girl. we're all chilling out next to a cabana. All of a sudden, D and Dan start going at it. And Nikki's sitting there like, so yeah, this is actually our last night here. We're leaving tomorrow morning. My parents, they came with us. They got other places they need to go. You came with your parents? Thought y'all came here like by yourself. I gotta kiss this girl, but I can't do it out here on the pool deck. Hard Rock got cameras out the butt. So I'm like, yo, let me walk you to your room one time. So I snatch her up, I walk her around the corner to the stairwell. We walk up about 3 floors, and then she stops and leans up against the wall and just looks at me like, what's up? And I start moving in, and I get closer and closer, and she closes her eyes, and I close my eyes, and I kind of just lean there next to her like an idiot. I'm just leaning next to her for a good like 4 minutes, and then I took her back to her room. Next day, I had to work at 2 p.m. At 11 o'clock, jump in my car, drive to work. I look to my left as soon as I walk out onto the pool deck. First table next to me, Nikki and Nikki's mom and dad. I'm like, yo, y'all got room for one more? I look at Nikki, and she is triggered. Then she goes, I'm going to the bathroom. D, come with me. And that's another thing, why do girls always go to the bathroom together? That's always confused me. Are all public restrooms for ladies escape rooms? And it's like a puzzle where you need 2 or 3 people to figure out how to escape? Anyways, the girls go off, so it's me, Dan, and the parents. And the dad looks at me and he goes, so, I understand you've been canoodling with my daughter the last few days. And I start getting scared. I'm looking at all the exits, because he knows I work here. I can't think of a scenario where he finishes this sentence and it ends positively. So then he looks at me and he goes, why didn't you kiss my daughter last night? Wait. What dad says this? And I give it a few more seconds to see if he's gonna be like, haha, just kidding. This dude is dead serious. And I look to the mom for help, and she ain't trying to help me. She has her hands on her hips like, what kind of freaky family is this? Wait, well, sir, it's just the good guy complex. We leave in 30 minutes.
Throw the nice guy out the window, because I'm not about to be on the plane for the next 4 hours with my daughter, all moody and depressed and sad.
So Nikki and Dee come back and they sit down. So I walk Nikki up to the lobby. Probably the worst place I could have taken her because everybody at front desk knows me. The GM walks through here all the time. Like, I shouldn't even be seen in regular clothes hanging out with guests. Danny and Dee find us and they sit next to us, and as soon as they sit down, they're rolling over us. Danny's feet are like in my face. I'm like pushing his feet out of my face as they make out. They're just going at it. Me and Nikki are just sitting here in silence because I'm nervous AF and scared too. I'm cold. Never kissed a girl before. And the dad walks into the lobby. Where's my daughter and that boy? How much you wanna bet that yellow turd ain't even kissed her yet? Dolores, fetch me my shotgun. He's mean mugging me. The dad gets in the line for front desk, waiting to check out. So I look at Nikki and I'm like, Nikki, let's take a walk. We start walking. I glance up and I make eye contact with her dad, and he mouths the words, "You better kiss her." Dad is gonna kill me if I don't make out with his daughter. When you pass front desk off to the right, they have these rooms, and they're phone booths, but they're like rooms with just a single phone in it and one tiny little light. Take her in there, grab her, pin her up against the wall, boom. Oh my God, her lips were so soft, y'all. Oh my God. You know when you go to Krispy Kreme and you catch the glazed donuts right off the production line when they pour that hot glaze right on and you bite into it? That's exactly what it was like. How is it acceptable behavior to just fall off the face of the earth? Here's the problem. In the back of our minds, we all know we're hiding behind a screen, and if we ghost, we never have to see that person ever again. And also, what's the consequence for ghosting? We also know there's no consequence.
When you get older, hide and seek becomes a game called ghosting. Only nobody ever comes to find you, right? And you can block them. Yeah.
People ghost for all kind of reasons. I'm gonna share some things that my friends have said, I'm gonna share some things that my Instagram followers said, and then I'm gonna share my story about the one time I've ever ghosted somebody. You meet somebody behind a screen, you establish comms, you actually both leave your house to meet up someplace, go back home, message them again from behind that screen, and then you never hear from them again. That's dating in the 21st century. See, we're in an internet-based society. there's really no consequence when you're hiding behind a screen and you just stop responding to somebody. And here's the other part too. 9 times out of 10, it's something that we did or something that we're doing that's rubbing the other person the wrong way. Let's talk about it, all right? I've asked some of my friend girls reasons they've specifically ghosted dudes, as in they went on a date with a guy and then after the date never hit him up. So these are actual real life accounts. First one, my friend met this guy on an app. In his bio it said he was 6'2". On the date he was like 5'6". Ghosted. Don't lie in your bios. So if you're on the dating apps and you say one thing and you show up in your another thing, that could be a reason. Another friend girl says she went on a date, the dude left $0 tip, ghosted. Maybe drop a clue for the dude, because you just ghosting after that date and he doesn't leave a tip, he's gonna go on to the next date and not leave a tip. So next time, say something like, really? Not even $1? So that way, if you do ghost, he can think back like, why did she just, it's because I didn't leave a tip. So give him a clue, give us a breadcrumb. In my personal experience, what I've noticed when it comes to girls ghosting, it's typically because they got something else on the back burner. They're talking you up, conversations are going good, and then all of a sudden they stop. It's because option 3 popped up and now is priority 1. My friend B had this really good point. She said she doesn't like to ghost anybody, even when the guy is not getting it. What she'll do is Casper the friendly ghost. And that's where you slowly start dialing back. You take like a day to respond, then 2 days to respond, and then 3-word responses, then 2-word responses, then 1 word, and then no words. Casper the friendly ghost. Moving on. One thing you never do. Don't keep hitting the girl up after she stopped replying. When you're just there having a conversation by yourself, that girl is 1,000,000% screenshotting and sharing it with her group chats, all right? Just don't get, it's not a guess, it's a fact. 1 message, they don't reply. 2 max, they don't reply, and you're getting those vibes, stop. We're always on the grid, okay? I've sourced some of the most brilliant minds on the internet, the people who follow me on Instagram. I actually had my own list of stuff, but y'all submitted some ideas for this that beat mine. Here we go. This is the one I hear a lot. You're being creepy. Ghost. If you're too awkward or too nice, girls want the nice guy, but a lot of them don't want the nice guy. You know what I mean? There's a balance. There's a yin and the yang. Nowadays, you say one wrong thing on a date, ghosted. You come off too strong or they got what they wanted out of the interaction, listen, it happens. They think they're better than you, they don't want to talk to you. And this is the most hard-hitting one coming up right here. Better graphics. Ghosted. Ghosted. And I mean, let's talk about it because they're actually in a relationship when they told you they were single. That's another good one. Too soon. PTSD. The conversation wasn't hitting and the wordplay ain't fizzing. I feel that. I did see the creepy stuff come up a lot. So fellas, pay attention. Tact. T-A-C-T. Look it up. A lot of girls have it, a lot of guys don't. I mean, I think this applies to some of us too. They'll ghost us because they're so scared of our midichlorian count. They're so fearful they're gonna fall in love with us. So for their own protection and their own sanity, poof, poor manners, not enough respect to tell someone no, or they're just disinterested. People just hate dealing with emotions and they hate confrontation. Guys, once you give the girls the ick, it's really hard to come back from that. I mean, it's virtually mission impossible, whatever mission impossible we're on right now. I mean, this one is a good one, because they suck. This was a good one. They only hit you up when they're bored. Ghosting because they make bad choices. I've actually had friends show me their phone about this one. If you send 4 or 5 texts just to say what's up, we should hang, that could rub people the wrong way. Text management. This is the best one for the plot. Wait, has anybody here ghosted somebody because of their horoscope? Let me know, please. I don't know about this one. This is the only one I'll let slide that I don't know about. Somebody who just likes small doses of flirty interactions. So just leapfrogging from lily pad to lily pad. You're just one of many lily pads you get hopped on? When one of their friends or somebody they know says something to them about you. But listen, if you're just trying to ghost me without even getting my side, I'm not even trying to fight for that friendship, relationship, whatever ship. Fact of the matter, most people just don't take rejection well, and we all know this. They got short-term memory, or maybe they thought they responded to you, and then weeks later, they're too embarrassed to text back anymore. That's a good one. They warned you about something, you ignored them, ghosted. Granted, we're all human, so maybe not just off of one warning, maybe give us a second warning, maybe. The only time I've ghosted somebody, I mean ghosted as in No warning, no nothing, just poof, vamoose, drop off the face of the earth, block. Me and my boy Aaron were at the mall, and we all had those conversations that are suitable for our friends' ears only, but not anybody else outside of our immediate circle, right? So me and him were having one of those conversations, and then he interrupts me and he goes, oh shoot, don't look now, but I think that girl that just walked by us heard what you just said, but don't look. And instantly I'm like, brrr! And I see this girl and she has this look on her face like, oh my God. She had walked past and she was on an escalator going down. So she was literally like, check my Instagram and I have a message from somebody who looks like the girl from the mall. I opened that thing so fast. Hey, was that you at the mall today? Maybe. Was that you going down the escalator? Oh my God, it was you? You looked like you overheard part of our conversation. What did you overhear by chance? I didn't hear anything, I just saw you. So then, why were you looking at me like that as you were going down the escalator? Dude, because I've been a fan forever and I never thought I'd actually see you in person, so I was trying to figure out if it was actually happening. So you didn't hear anything? No. You swear? Swear to me! Why? What were y'all talking about? No, nothing. Nothing at all. So we talked for a few days and then she like, we should hang out sometime. Let me get your number. Give the girl my number. And not even a week later, I'm going through my DMs and I'm replying and I get one that says, swooze, I'm just letting you know, I got a friend who recently got your number and she out here giving it to people. I don't be giving my number out, so I instantly know who she's talking about. Yeah, I thought it was kind of jacked up, so I'm just letting you know. So I hit mall girl back. Bruh, are you out here giving out my number? Yeah, what's the big deal? I figured I didn't have to say this, but I apparently have to say this. Please don't give my number out to anybody. So that gave me the ick big time right there. We talk a lot less after that. And then a few months later, out of the blue random, this girl hits me with, I eat birds. I just ate a bird. I've been drinking, so I'm a little woozy, but I eat birds. I literally kill birds and eat them. Blocked. You know what? I'm out. Blocked, blocked, blocked. No explanation. Ghost. Even though I know my friends have blocked people for a lot less, I still felt kind of bad. Like you were drinking that night, but I just started to see the signs and where this was going. So as I start working on this video, I remember, oh shoot, I wonder what mall girl is up to. So I unblock her and message her, and I explain to her why I stopped talking to her. So we start catching up. Yeah, I'm married now. Sorry for the way I acted. Cool. All good, water under the bridge. In the off chance that you randomly remember what me and Aaron were talking about at the mall all those years ago, you better not tell anybody. I just want to make one thing clear real quick. I love fast food, but I just don't trust it. And just like when you're in a relationship, have you ever been in a relationship and you caught your boyfriend or girlfriend lying? Once that trust is gone, it's almost impossible to get back. If you worked at a mall or a shopping plaza, you know when it's time to eat. It's always at the food court. I used to work at a clothing store. I'm at greeter spot and my coworker Jeremiah comes up. All right, I just clocked in, you can go to lunch. Cool, well, I'm gonna get a cheeseburger from, let's call this place Ronald's. I'm gonna get a cheeseburger from Ronald's. You want anything? Don't go to that Ronald's in the food court. I used to work there before I got the job here. Why not? Don't go there, just trust me. Bro, I love Ronald's, so you need to tell me why I don't need to go to this Ronald's. You know how many people's burgers I spit in while I was working at that Ronald's? Wait, what? If I looked up at the screen and I saw anybody order a custom order, I spit in it. What did you order when you would go there? Cheeseburger, only ketchup, mayo, and mustard. Yeah, I've seen that a few times. I spit in that burger. You're joking, right? How do you do this with the manager around? The manager there doesn't care. You know how many times people would come and complain about hair in their food? And it was the manager's hair that was in the food, and he'd be like, nobody here has that hair color. And it's clearly his. Needless to say, I stopped going to Ronald's a lot. So a few years later, I meet this girl, Brianna. She works at, let's call her place Jenny's. So she works at Jenny's. When I find out she works at fast food, I tell her about the Jeremiah story. That is not normal. People usually only mess with your food if you're rude or an a-hole. Okay, did you ever mess with anybody's food? Only once, because the guy was an a-hole. America explain. we got this guy's order wrong, and he came back yelling and cursing at me. I wasn't even on the line, I was at register. He's yelling and making a huge scene. I'm like on the verge of tears. So if you're on register and you handle money, you're not supposed to be on the line making food. But since that guy was a super a-hole, I went to the back and I made his food. I took his patty and I dropped it on the floor. I look at my coworker and he's just shaking his head like, it's not enough. And then I took his bun and I rubbed it around the rim of the garbage can. Don't be rude to people who are fixing your food. I used to eat fast food every day. Now I eat fast food like once every 5 months. No, a good rule of thumb is if you ever go to a fast food place and the people preparing your food, if they're not wearing gloves, don't eat there. Because if they're ignoring that rule, they're most likely ignoring a bunch of other rules too. So yeah, needless to say, I pretty much stopped going to fast food. And I still, to this day, love fast food. So for any of y'all that watch my story on Instagram, every time I go to Tokyo, you see me at that 24-hour McDonald's in Shinjuku every single day. Everybody's very respectful. The chances of somebody messing with your food over there is slim to -0. So I quit working retail, get the job at Hard Rock Hotel as a lifeguard, and one day I'm running super late, which is pretty much every day I'm scheduled to work. And I got the urge for some, let's call this place Chess. The burgers and the fries at this place are amazing. However, the people they've been hiring and the quality had just been going downhill over the years, so now it's just too risky to go there. So it's the first time I'm gonna be eating fast food in like 4 years. So I pull up to the speaker.
And then he said, if we break up, ain't nobody gonna want me. Girl, his friend Tyrone want me. His friend Jaquel is all up in my DMs. Pierre want me. Ooh, girl, Pierre? Yes, girl, yes, Pierre. He cuter than a mug, I swear. If we break up, you know what I'll do?
Hello?
Excuse me, yes.
Can I make an order?
Can you wait? Oh, girl, no, he didn't. I know. Girl, I'm finna get fired today, I swear. Welcome to Chess. What can I get you?
Yeah, sorry, no, I'm in a rush. Can I get a, can I get a number 1, the Chess burger meal with only ketchup, mustard, and lettuce? Hello?
Mm-hmm.
And can I get a large? Can I make that a large with a Sprite?
Pull around.
Pull up to the window. They make the order. She gives me the bag. I pull off. Cool. I'm driving. I'm just gonna eat in the car. I take my burger out. Don't you guys love when you tell them only ketchup and only mustard? Super simple. And they put everything on it. They get it completely wrong. I love it so much that I turn around and drive back. I already know this is not gonna end well.
Welcome to Chess. Can I take your order?
Yes. I just need a number 1, the Chess combo. The Chess burger combo with only ketchup and only mustard and only lettuce. I figured, let me just order like I'm a completely new person. But when I pull up to the window, that's when I drop it on her like, hey, you messed up my order. Can I just swap you the messed up order for the order that you just placed? Is what I tell her. This is her response.
I just put this in as a new order. Why you didn't tell me back there at the intercom that this was a messed up order? You annoying, I swallow.
She grabs my order, walks around the corner. So about 30 seconds later, I see one of the employees poke his head around the window and look at me, and then go back. And about a minute later, I see another employee poke their head around the window, and then go back. Mind you, this is not on some, we recognize you from YouTube, because I started my YouTube channel, but I was only at like 100 subscribers at the time, so this is not that. So then she hands me the new bag, and doesn't say a word. Take the bag, drive off. I open up this bag, and it smelt like a dumpster and the sewer had a baby. It was odious. This didn't smell like they took my burger and went around the rim with it one time. This reeked. I'm not gonna eat this food. As soon as I get to work, I'm throwing this away. So I'm driving. Lo and behold, I see a homeless man on the corner of the road. And I think to myself, oh. I pull over and I hold the bag out of the window. He sees me, stands up, walks to the edge of the road, and then he's waiting for an opening in traffic so he can cross. And then I think to myself, are you an idiot? Those employees did God knows what to your food. You're not gonna eat it, but you're gonna give it to this homeless man? That's not cool, bro. That's not cool. Traffic clears up and the homeless man starts jogging toward me, and as he gets closer, I panic, and I just drive off. But then I get to work and I'm on the guard stand, and I start thinking, from that homeless guy's perspective, I pulled up like, hey bro, come get this free food. Psych, see ya, skirt. Y'all ever put yourself in a situation where you just feel like crap? I just couldn't shake that feeling of feeling like a terrible person. So for the next few days that I had to work, every time I would go in, I was looking for this homeless dude. Never saw him again, unfortunately. And I couldn't shake that feeling of feeling like a terrible person. So to kind of counteract it, if I was at a drive-thru, I'd pay for the person behind me. If I was at a movie theater, I'd buy the person behind me ticket. I was just OD. So yeah, some of us love fast food, but some of us also have trust issues. We've been hurt in the past. Once that trust is gone, it's almost impossible to get back. Alright, so for anybody who doesn't know what holding an L or catching an L means, it's basically, here's a quick example. Let's say, for example, you graduate from high school and you apply to this college. And you know deep down in your heart and in your bones, they're gonna accept you. And you send off your portfolio and you put all your eggs in that basket, and the college hits you back like, we regret to inform you, declined. That's an example of you holding or catching an L in that scenario. And that's actually not a random example, that actually happened to me. Yeah, I applied at 2 colleges, Ringling School of Art and Design and Cal Arts. And both of them were like, we regret to inform you. Look at me now. Look at this. Look at this amazing art right here. I drew this. Look at the shading. For real. Jokes aside, what were you guys thinking? Who's holding L's now? Ringling and Cal Arts? Well, yeah, technically, y'all see the title of this video, so obviously me. Because for whatever reason, we all out here trying to act like our life is perfect when everybody knows it's not. I've done stupid things, you've done stupid, we've all done stupid things. Life is not perfect. We hold L's sometimes. Me and a few friends, we go to this friend's house, and we get to her house, she's like, oh my god, let's have a onesie party. I'm from the streets. We don't do onesie parties, like, miss me with that? Stop being a Debbie Downer. Come on, everybody's dying. Come on, peer pressure. Fine, give me the stupid onesie. She wants to watch Disney Plus while we wear onesies. And like, now I'm in line waiting for the bathroom because everybody's trying to change into onesie. Now I'm in line for something I don't even want to do. So I said, bunk this. I walk around to that side little dining room that everybody has in their house that nobody ever uses, right? And there's no lights on it, it's pitch black, so I go in there, I get butt naked, I'm like, whatever. I start putting on this onesie, I get 1 foot in the onesie, and I look up, and I just see this little green light floating in the darkness. Yeah, that Amazon camera, the one with night vision, and I'm just looking at this camera like, is there a way for me to hack the Amazon mainframe for these things? If any indecent pictures or videos ever pops up of me and it's in night vision, now you know the backstory. This is what happened, okay? If any footage of me does surface, it's not me. It's clearly deep fake. I mean, look at it. Look at the edges of the face right there. You can see, and the lip sync completely off. Let me tell you about this time where I choked hard. I'm at the Grove in LA with my boy Jeffrey. We're at Top Man, so we're there in the men's section shopping around. And Jeffrey runs over to me. Yo. Do you know who Karrueche is? For anybody that doesn't know, Karrueche's a model. She's gorgeous. She used to date Chris Brown. Do you know who Karrueche is? Do I know who Karrueche? Of course. Bro, do you know what I would do to her? I would take Nutella, pour it all over her body, and then well, there she goes, right there. And I look up, and there she go right over there, and I'm right over here, and she's just standing there by herself, like no entourage, no mans, no nobody. Girl, I would not have, if I was your mans, I would not have you out here by yourself for a minute. And then Jeffrey kind of sees us meet eyes, so he just steps away to let me do my thing. And then we just keep meeting eyes. I'm there acting like I'm looking at the clothes like, ooh, look at this. Ooh, oh my God, no. This is $30. And fellas, you know when you're out and you see that girl and she's so fine and you're like, oh, what do I say? And then you don't say anything, and later that night you're in your bed staring at the ceiling like, oh my God, we could have been married by now. Oh, I'm so stupid though. Imagine y'all, imagine if I pulled Karrueche. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing. I don't know if I'm gonna edit this part out or not, but I went home and followed her and I DM'd her. Like, yeah, I was the guy at Topshop. Yeah, she never DM'd me back, so I unfollowed her and then unsent that because it never happened. I'm a different person now. New year, new me. This is already getting depressing. Okay, moving along. So, VidCon. So I emceed and hosted this event for YouTube, and YouTube invited a bunch of brands like Starbucks and McDonald's and Apple. It's all these brands and their marketing teams. So I'm on stage doing my teleprompter thing, and then I kind of go off script. I was like, by the way, you brands even influence us influencers, because sWooZie is a derivative of Nike swoosh. Because I wore so much Nike, the kids in high school used to call me Nike boy, swoosh, sWooZie. So jokingly, but serious, but jokingly, I'm like, Nike, if you're in the audience, holla at me, come sponsor me, please, I'm poor. After I'm done, I'm walking off the stage and these 3 people walk up to me and they're like, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so, and I'm so-and-so. We're from Nike, nice to meet you. Externally, I was like, oh, nice to meet you. But internally, I was like, so they were like, we don't really sponsor influencers, but we love your vibe, we love your energy. Let's meet back here at 4 o'clock and let's get the conversation started. Now, as any YouTuber or TikToker or anybody invited as a special guest to VidCon will tell you, there's a lot of madness going on. And in this madness, it's very easy to kick into space cadet mode where you're not thinking straight. 4 o'clock Nike, okay, got it. And I'm being pulled this way, moderating panels, being at panels, fans are screaming, jump to this golf cart, and you gotta zip around. I get back to my hotel room, I lay in bed and I'm just like, I look at the time, it is 6 o'clock, baby. Nike didn't give me their email, I didn't get their numbers, I didn't even get their Instagram. Absolutamente nada. Nike, if you're watching, please forgive me. I can change, I swear, baby. She means nothing. I've been through a lot of character development. I'm just gonna do the rest of the video from down here. Okay, let's just persevere and push through. We're almost there. Massive L party of Uwin. All right, now I was debating on telling you guys this next one because it deals with politics, and I'm not big into politics, but a little while ago I was filming this pilot for a reality show that was following basically famous YouTubers and TikTokers. So the producers tell me they need me for this day and this day to film the pilot. Cool, I lock in. One day I get this email from the White House, and it's an email from Obama's team. This is like his last few months while he's still in office, and they're like, hey Swooz, we love the last 2 interviews you did with Obama. We have something really cool coming up. We thought of you. We can't give you a lot of details, but would you like to come do another interview with Obama plus a very special guest? And we need you on this day, which happened to be the same day that the reality show needed me, so there was a little bit of a scheduling conflict. One thing I strive to be is a man of my word. I hit the producer back and I'm just like, Obama's people just hit me up, they want to do something. Do you think that would be cool? Like, do y'all want to come? Should I ask and see if y'all can come tag along? The producer was like, oh my god, yes, that would be amazing, do it! I emailed them back, guys, I'm honored, thank you so much for thinking about me. I don't know who the special guest was, but Obama, he was really nice when I met him. One problem, I'm filming this thing, da-da-da-da-da. Is it okay if I bring a +1 who's a cameraman who's working on this project? Because I promised them that day, not to swing too big, but if possible, a +2, because they need to bring an audio guy too. If not, +1 is great, let me know. I got left on red. However, fast forward about a week, I'm on social media, I see some lady interviewing Obama and Leonardo DiCaprio. You know how bad I would just love to talk to Leo DiCaprio about Inception? Just L's all over the screen. That pilot, by the way, that I missed that opportunity for, never even got picked up. No. And I have some really embarrassing L's too. Let me share some of those. I was in Portland. I was at a grocery store. I come around the corner. This guy sees me. He's like, sWooZie, yo! Now, one thing I will say. First, if you ever see me out in public, I will say yes to a picture. But here's the thing. Whatever energy you come at me with, I try to match it. So if you come at me like, sWooZie, I'm gonna come back at you, yo! So this guy comes at me with that energy, sWooZie! So I'm like, yo, bro, what's up? sWooZie, bro, I've been following you since like middle school. I love your videos. Super high energy, right? You know, it's a quick little conversation and it starts dying down. I look at him and I'm like, yo, is it picture time or nah? This guy looks at me and he's like, nah, I'm good. I felt so crunchy after that. Like I stopped asking people if they wanted pictures. I'm sitting here like, dang, this dude didn't even want to waste 2 megabytes on a picture. Like you could at least been like, yeah, chicking, okay, delete. Which blows my mind. You're gonna come and be like, wow, 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 and then be like, ugh, picture? You're weird. So just know that if you come up and say hi to me, that dude is still in my head, like messing with me. Okay, I actually had a whole list of L's, but I'm just gonna do one more. This is getting very difficult for me. Okay, this one is more of an unconventional L. It's like a very private L. It's those embarrassing stories that you don't really tell nobody because it's like, it doesn't make you look that good. This is back in my lifeguard days when I was just about to stop working at Hard Rock Hotel. I've been keeping this suppressed for a long time. It's about time I just get it off my chest. Okay, here we go. Hard Rock doesn't let the employees park on property unless you're a manager. You gotta park over at the Universal Studios parking garage. For the people in Orlando who are familiar with you gotta park in that Universal parking garage that the guests park in, the employees gotta park in there. So, pull up, park, Florida be Florida, so it's humid AF. I have the closing shift, so I pull up at 3 o'clock and I just crack my windows, take one step out of the car, and I'm just like, what? Why are you cracking the windows? You're closing tonight. It's gonna be nighttime when you get back here. There's no need to crack the windows. It's not gonna be hot. Go into work my 8-hour shift at Hard Rock Hotel, come back, open the door, and I sit down, and I see a frog on my dashboard. This is not no big old bullfrog. This is not a baby frog. This is a schmedium frog, okay? He's like this big. He's sitting there chilling, looking at me crazy like I just got into his car. Society in America teaches you that if you're the man, you gotta be the man. You can't run from cockroaches, you can't cry. So now, I'm sitting in the car and I start to question how manly I am right now. I have this silent conversation as we're looking at each other, right? I'm just like, okay, look, you stay over there, I'ma stay over here, we ain't got no problems, okay? I'ma drive home, I'ma get a broom when I get home, and I'm just get you out of here, okay? You're gonna love your new home. Start my car up, start driving, I'm on Turnpike, and I just see the Turnpike lamps going over it, and we'll just call the frog Todd. You know, we're becoming friends now. I'm driving, and I just see him just sitting there chilling, right? And the street lights are going over. Todd, 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 no Todd, no Todd, no Todd. I'm like 15 minutes from my house, so I'm just like, and I'm there driving, right? And I'm just, you can't look. What do you do? What if I'm driving and Todd jumps on my leg? How am I look if I cause an accident on Turnpike, 17 car pileup? Cops show up and I'm like, there was a frog. I swear to God, a frog. And in the corner of my eye, on the window, I just see a little palm. Like this. And I wanna look, but I'm good. You know? But I wanna look, but I'm good. I feel like little frog breath breathing on my neck and I'm just like, no. I turn, and this frog is legit less than a foot away from my face. No lie, I actually start talking to him. Todd, you stay there, and the frog jumps on my neck mid-conversation. I just felt something cold, slimy, and wet. This is me. I'm swerving in the road, just repeatedly punching myself in the face violently. Like if I had a girlfriend and she was in the car with me and she saw that, she could never unsee that, you know what I'm saying? From that point on, no matter how hot or romantic or passionate things got, she always has that vision of, who here remembers Blockbuster Video? I know a lot of y'all have heard about it. For those of y'all who have never been inside a Blockbuster, you go in, they have all your favorite movies, all your favorite video games, they had candy and popcorn. For anybody that remembers going in as a kid, they will tell you it was a good experience. It just made you feel good. When you hear mom say, "We're going to Blockbuster!" your reaction's always like, "Bah!" Whenever they had a new release, it would cover the entire wall, and it was always sold out. Imagine going to Netflix and typing in a show or a movie you want to watch, and then Netflix is like, "Nah, fam." And some of y'all young bloods don't know nothing about that life. But you know what else was awesome about the whole Blockbuster experience? When you got your own Blockbuster card, like that's a big deal. You're not even supposed to be able to get one until you're 13, but my mom like forged the document and like made a fake passport for me or something and got me one before I turned 13. Like that was a moment in life. My friends would call me after I got my card like, "Donde, let's go play outside." Nah, fam, I'm a man. I'm about to go job hunting. I gotta start doing my taxes. Big montings. I'm out here making money moves, okay? Come holla at me. And to make matters even worser, my parents started giving me allowance around this time. It was $20 every 2 weeks. I felt like a millionaire. Like y'all couldn't tell me nothing. I would just jump on my bike and drive down to Blockbuster because I don't need my mom to drive me no more because I'm a man now. And then one day out of the blue random, they added an anime section. It was only like one tiny little corner, had like 15 movies, but I was shooketh. So the first anime I ever rent was Ninja Scroll, right? Take it to the register. The lady looks at the movie and looks at me and she goes, "Where's your mom?" Home, because I'm a man. "Hold on 1 second. She looks at the computer, picks up the phone, and calls her. "Hi,
Hi, ma'am. I'm Stacy over at the Blockbuster in Metro West. Your son is trying to rent a movie that's PG-13. And he doesn't look 13 to me.
So now I'm like, crap, my mom's gonna think that I'm over here trying to abuse my power and rent adult movies. Then I hear the girl go,
Okay. That'll be $5.99.
yo, my mom is a G. So the next weekend comes along, guess where I'm at Friday night? Right back up in the anime section. So I walk over to the same lady from last week and I hand her Fist of the North Star, the movie.
I just have to call your mother to get permission to rent this to you. Yes, ma'am, this is Stacy from Blockbuster in Metro West. Your son is here trying to rent a movie. It's a Japanimation movie. Okay. Okay, I just have to, let me just read you the ratings really quickly, okay? Nudity, adult situations, blood, and violence. Did I mention that it contains a nudity? Do you want me to rent this movie to your son who is here? Are you sure? No, yeah, okay. Blink once for yes, blink twice for no. Okay, no problem, ma'am. Sure, okie doke.
And I'm here like, Mom is the MVP. Me and my mom never even talked about this. She just knew what to do. And this other time I went into Blockbuster, I go over to the video game section. The brand new Star Fox 64 just dropped. All of them were sold out except for one. Again, for anybody that's gone to Blockbuster and you've experienced this scenario, you know how happy you get when you get the last copy. Grab it, go over to the register, give it to the guy, and he goes,
Yo, I've been trying to get my hands on this. You know how hard it is to get your hands on this game? I can't even get my hands on it, and I work here. When did this copy even get back in here? I've been waiting for it.
So I give him the money, I rent it, take it home. The graphics were like mind-blowing. So I take it back to Blockbuster, drop the game off, and about a week later, I'm home, I hear the phone ring, my mom goes and answers it. Then she walks in the room like, Blockbuster says you still have their game and you need to bring it back. No, I returned the game like last week. He said he returned the game last week. They says you didn't. Well, I did. My son says he returned the game, that means he returned the game. So fast forward like a month, I think it was. I'm home, I hear the phone ring, my mom answers, and she runs in the room. Blockbuster says you still have their game and that I owe them $125! Part of me is happy, part of me is scared. For anybody that has a parent or parents from Barbados, you know that they swing first and ask questions later. So the fact that my mom's asking questions first, I'm very happy about it. Mom, I returned the game on time, I swears.
He returned the game on time. He wouldn't lie about it.
Click. Blockbuster kept calling. I pick up the phone, they'd be like,
We know you have the game. We're gonna send the collection agency after you.
and every time they would call, I'm sitting here like, am I crazy? Did I imagine taking it back and I didn't really take it back? Like I was stressing out. And when I get stressed out, I break out and get acne. Once I get acne, the chance of me becoming a child model is out the window. I'm not gonna book any gigs if my face is covered in pimples, okay? Then I start thinking, hold up. Maybe when I returned it, that clerk swiped it up and took it home and never brought it back. Like 2 or 3 months later, Blockbuster calls,
Ma'am, we just wanted to call and let you know that we found the game.
Where did you find it?
It doesn't matter where we found it, but we found it.
I think that was their way of being like, oops, we done goofed. So they erased all of our late fees. But please believe, every time I rented from Blockbuster from that day on, I wouldn't just drop it in the Dropbox. When I'm returning a game, I would walk inside with the game and be like, hey guys, I'm here, la 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 la, here, I'm here, look. And a little while after this, I love cute little dogs. I don't know why, I just do. There's one little problem though. Every dog that I've ever owned hates me. Can you see the scar that I got on my cheek right here? I got it from one of my dogs, because they all hate me. What I tell myself is that they all have deep-rooted psychological issues. And you know how you see people driving around and the dog is in the back seat with his head out the window looking all cute? I can't do that. Let me roll the window down for you, Cooper. Cooper. Anytime I was leaving the house or coming home from work, as soon as the door would crack open, pew! I would sit there wondering, like, what is their plan? What's your modus operandi? You get away, and then what? Being homeless is a better option than living with me? Why? And what do I do? What do I do to the dog? I don't know what I'm doing. It has to be me. If all of them don't know each other and they all hate me, I'm the common denominator. There is one thing I hate about dogs. When you have that neighbor that has that dog that they keep outside, and he never stops barking. I heard there's a study that says dogs never get tired of barking or hearing the sound of their own bark. Just how does your neighbor not hear that dog barking non-stop? Have you ever had anybody give you a free dog? I'm super sussed out every time that happens. My aunt was at work, her coworker came up, hey, do you want a free dog? His name is Benji. Then she comes over to my house, hey, you guys want a free dog? Benji was psychotic. I wake up in the middle of the night, Benji's sitting over me like, so I'm thinking me and Benji just got off on the wrong foot, right? The next day I go to pet him, hey Benji, hey, welcome to the bit me. Who hurt you, Benji? Sure enough, about a month later, some random person off the street went to my dad and was like, hey, you want a dog? Sure, what's the worst that could happen? So when my dad brought Kayla home, we had 3 dogs at that point. Key, Kayla, and Benji. So one day, I'm upstairs playing PlayStation, and I hear Kayla barking outside. Go down to the kitchen, look out the back window. There's a little chihuahua there, but she's not moving. She's just standing her ground like, Brr. So this little chihuahua is standing in my backyard looking at Kayla. I see Kayla has some slack on that chain. I do quick maths, and I'm like, okay, that dog is far enough to where if Kayla charges the dog, we good. She's not gonna reach the chihuahua. Kayla's there, foaming at the mouth now. And the chihuahua starts inching closer. What is you doing, bro? Is you trying to die? So at this point, I go out the back door. I know Kayla's crazy. I'm not about to get close to Kayla because I don't want Kayla to confuse me. So then I try to get the chihuahua to leave. I'm like, get out of here. There's a whole lot of gang stuff going on over here. You don't want this problem. I promise. Out of nowhere, this lady comes around the corner. Oh, thank goodness. There you are. Come here, Bubby. Come here, Bubby. Come here, Bubby. The dog looks at her and looks back at Kayla like he's weighing his options like, So then the dog takes another step closer.
Good day for us. Well done. Now go.
Oh my God! And then she jumps on top of Kayla. So now she's like fighting Kayla. So I grab the chain and then yank Kayla. Ma'am, are you okay? Okay, you want me to call an ambulance or something? No, it's okay, it's fine, it's okay. And she leaves. I never saw her again. So I tell my parents, they start having the conversation, do we get rid of the dog or nah? So at that point, I put her in the laundry room. I go to work. So I'm usually the first person home each day from work. I look in the laundry room, Kayla is gone. She dug a hole in the wall to escape. And this is all happening 3 days after that whole Chihuahua incident. I call my mom, Mom, Kayla's gone. What do you mean? She Shawshanked her way out of there. Find that dog now. We've got construction workers all over building new houses. We've got kids playing in yards. And this is the equivalent of Jurassic World when all the dinosaurs get out. My new hybrid dinosaur raptor is on the loose. When I was in the theater watching it, I'm sitting there watching it like, same girl, same. I know I've been there. This has happened to me too. So I jump in my car and just start driving, and I'm looking for this dog everywhere. And my mom is blowing up my phone. If that dog bites somebody, they're gonna sue us for everything, and we're gonna lose everything. As my mom's talking to me, I'm on Zillow putting our house up for sale. Drove around that block like 4 times. Y'all, when I tell you I don't know how I found this dog, I really don't. I got out of my car at one point, I just felt her presence, and I just yelled, Kayla! And I see his head peek up out of a bush. I just held my hand out like I had some food. I'm like, come get it. So when she came over, gotcha. Needless to say, by the end of the week, all dogs were gone. It was a clearance sale. My dad was standing outside of PetSmart like, hey, you want a dog? Sure, what's the worst that could happen? I went to this private school for a few years, and on the campus they had kindergarten all the way to high school. And when I was 13, I would have to wait after school for one of my parents to pick me up. So yeah, I got tired of waiting one day. I started walking around school, and I saw where the kindergartners and the first graders have daycare on the playground. And I'm like, you know what? I should go fight these kids. I don't know why that was the first thought that popped into my head. It wasn't real fighting, okay? It was play fighting. Relax. But I just walked over to the gate, opened it up. The teachers have seen me around school, so they know I go there. And I would just start play fighting. So here's the weird part. I loved that power of having like 15 kids charging at me. And I was just taking them all out. I'm not exaggerating, not lying, not kidding. This was like a daily activity for me. I never told anybody this. I come up in there like,
I'm Batman, and you guys picked the wrong day to rob Gotham National City Bank. Come at me, bro.
I'm waiting for my parents to pick me up now, looking like I just came from a fight club every day. So then one day in actual class, Miss Thompson gets up.
So apparently we have to have like a class president to teach you guys about elections or some crap. I don't know. Why am I even doing this? I'm the homeroom teacher. This is a job for like your history teacher or something. Who wants to be class president? We need to pick 3 people.
So me, on this power kick that I'm on, I raise my hand like, whatever, I don't. Plus, there's this girl in my class, Jane, that I had a really big crush on. I partially wanted to impress her. She could be my little first lady squeeze. So yeah, I raised my hand, and Tina B and Jeremy W. My cousin Shane was in my class with me, so I picked him as my vice president. Tina B picked Robin. Jeremy, I don't think he even picked the vice president. He was just riding solo. And honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. You know, I was already leading a double life. What I was trying to do was the equivalent of Batman running Wayne Enterprises, fighting crime by night, and then running for mayor. I didn't need all this stress. Day before the election comes, Tina B comes in here with PowerPoints and graphs. She had pictures of her kissing babies in third world countries. Bruh, I was totally caught off guard looking at this like, is this the 6th grade? Or did I just step into an episode of West Wing? I'm very confusion. And the teacher looks at me, like,
Okay, well, it's your turn. On a piece of paper, pass it up. When I get back, I'll count them and I'm out. Do what it do. I'm out.
and then Jane taps me on my shoulder, and I'm figuring she's about to be like,
Good luck. I'm gonna vote for you.
that's what I'm figuring she's about to say, right? Taps me on the shoulder, I'm like, what's up?
Can you tap Sean for me, please?
Sean is this light-skinned dude that sits in front of me. He's 6 foot tall in the 6th grade. I don't understand I don't know what hormone pills he's taking. Anyways, Sean turns around. How about Jane busts out with some,
Sean, will you be my boyfriend?
what? You want to be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, teacher counts the votes.
Okay. Looks like Adonde's the class president.
The instant I got it, I didn't even want it. Not even because of the whole Jane situation, right? I go over to the teacher and I'm like, hey, I don't want to. I back out of my presidency. I can't deal with all the stress. You know, I got a full-time job, part-time job, school, bills, kids, car payment. I got all the stuff to worry about. I can't be dealing with any new responsibilities on my plate right now, okay? So when I resigned, Shane became acting president. Shane felt the power for like 5 minutes, and then he was like, I resign. Jeremy, the one who put the least amount of work into all this, ended up being the president. That's like the guy who does the least amount of work in the group project and gets an A. That was Jeremy. The only real winners in this was Jeremy and Sean. Let's be clear. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for coming and listening to my TED Talk. So you came to this video thinking I was gonna give advice on how to never get hurt in a relationship. That was a trick. I did that as an example to demonstrate one thing. People lie. People are shady in relationships. And most people, when they lie, they also try to do this really cool, awesome thing, but they try to manipulate you too. Now, you might be in a relationship right now and things are great, and you two are in a field and spinning around in slow motion and you fall back on a pile of leaves like they do in the commercials. I hope things stay like that. Nothing makes me happier than when I see two people in a relationship and things are working perfectly. But in the not so perfect relationships, I've seen people mess things up so bad and they try to turn around and convince the other person that it's their fault. Let me tell you why that is. Because nobody wants to be the villain and everybody wants to be the victim. You go to most people who just went through a breakup and you ask them, hey, what happened? You know what both parties are going to say about the other person? It's the same answer almost every time. Oh, they were crazy. I would hear that excuse so much, I started saying no, like, more specifically, what does that mean? Man, she was just, it was like, she was just psycho, man. What does that mean? She was psycho, bro. I know a guy who cheated on the same girl multiple times, and when they finally broke up, you know what the guy's excuse was? I just couldn't take it anymore, man. She had huge commitment issues. You think? You got with 3 other girls while y'all were going out. Nobody wants to be the villain. Everybody want to be the victim. You know that scene in Star Wars Episode 3 when Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting on the lava and Anakin's like, from my perspective, the Jedi are evil. Hello, genius. You just killed a room full of elementary school kids. Every time I watch that scene, I get these flashbacks of girls who have led me on and lied to me and turn around and call me all kind of names and then cast me as the bad guy. Fellas, you could treat your woman like crap or you could treat them like a princess. Either way, I'm gonna tell you this right now. When a girl gets out of a relationship, there is one thing that all her girlfriends just can't wait to say. They've been standing there waiting for weeks with their hands folded, just waiting to say this one line. You know what it is? Girl, I don't know why you put up with him for so long. You know what? Let your ex's friends think whatever they want. The one thing you make sure never to do is never get sucked into that huge post-relationship fight or argument. And I think human beings just secretly like to fight. You look at some of these breakup fights and it's almost like you're watching an episode of Power Rangers because they're both out in the middle of the street, they're throwing cars at each other, and when somebody gets hit, those fake sparks go flying everywhere. You're just waiting for the White Ranger to swoop in and start playing his flute. People start yelling, people start cursing. It takes 2 to tango, and yes, some of you ladies secretly love the heat of battle. I figured it out. Why do you think so many girls play Call of Duty? Because of the high poly count and the graphics and the detailed textures and the attention to detail? No! I think one of the worst feelings in the world is being cheated on. Remember that girl I was dating that I turned into a gamer? I did that 3 months before she went off to college, and converting your girlfriend into a gamer and then letting her go to college out of state is like taking Justin Bieber, ripping his shirt off, and then throwing him into a pit full of 13-year-old girls. Anyway, but yeah, me and my girlfriend were doing this long distance thing for about a year, and then one day she calls me up and she's like, we hired this new guy at my restaurant named Tim. Oh my god, he's such an idiot. He thinks he's so cool because he has a police record. A week later, we're on the phone, we're talking again, and she's like, Tim found out I was a virgin, and he's been like saying all this really sexual, nasty stuff to me. And he was like saying how he'd have me trembling when he was done with me. And I'm like, oh yeah? Put him on the phone. wait, what? Put him on the phone. I want to talk to him right quick. She puts him on the phone. Hello? Hey, yo, cuz, I don't appreciate what my lady telling me right now. You need to relax. All this sex talk you be coming at her with. Listen, partner, I go hard in the paint. I beat bees in the trap. You don't know I'm from Trinidad? And I am crazy. Eh? Your mother, boy. Say I won't come up there. Hey, dog, no disrespect, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's just how we do up here in the A. You right, though, my bad. My bad, I'm a chill. And from that point on, it was all good. Or so I thought. And then she starts telling me how every day after work, Tim is trying to take her out drinking. And I'm like, babe, this is not brain science or rocket surgery. It's obvious what this dude wants. So as the days go on, I'm venting my frustration out to my boy Warren. And Warren's like, do me a favor, find out what kind of car Tim drives. And I'm like, why? And he's like, don't ask questions, just do it. I asked my girlfriend to come back, and I'm like, yeah, he drives a 1998 black Mitsubishi Eclipse. Yeah, okay, just curious. Now, my girlfriend has this routine. She calls me every day as soon as she gets out of work. And this one night in particular, she gets out of work. So I wait a few hours. You know, I'm not a stage 5 clinger. I wait a few hours, and I still don't have no call. So I call her. She doesn't return any of my calls or texts for a day and a half. Now, if you're like me, When you panic, you start thinking the worst possible scenario. And then she finally calls and she's like, okay, I'm just gonna talk. Just listen, don't say anything until I'm done. So last night after work, I went out with Tim and Yudo for drinks, and I had a little bit too much to drink. So Tim took me back to his place. We didn't do anything. The three of us talked about anime and sex all night until I fell asleep. I saw you calling, I saw you texting, but I just turned off my phone. So if you want to break up with me, I'll be really sad, but I understand. And me being the big teddy bear that I am, I forgave her, and it was all good. Or so I thought. Next thing I know, she said something that I'm sure some of you have heard at some point in your life. We should take a break. I'm young, I still want to have fun, blah-de-blah-de-blah. I'm fighting back the tears, but I go along with this whole break thing. And I'm sitting in class one day, and then I had the most massive epiphany I've ever had. So I pick up my phone and call up my girl, and I'm like, listen, I need you to be 1,000% honest with me right now, okay? That night you went out drinking with Tim and Yudo, and you didn't pick up the phone? You kissed Tim, didn't you?
Yes.
I knew it! I cried for like a week. I was just crying. Tell Warren my girlfriend cheated, and Warren's like, I had a feeling this might happen. You know what we gotta do now, right? We gotta go up to Atlanta and jack this dude's car up. I just happen to have these 2 baseball bats in my trunk and these 2 ski masks, one for me and then one for whoever else. I don't know, you. But hold on, let me break out my laptop real quick. I'll show you on PowerPoint. I just threw this together real quick. You know his schedule. You know what days he works. Today's Tuesday. I say we do this on Thursday. We drive up to Atlanta, get there by 8 or 9 when it's dark, start beating the crap out of his car. If for whatever reason he comes outside and he sees us and he tries to stop us, he could get it too.
My car! No! That's what you get.
Dude, are you serious? His car gets jacked up. Who's he gonna blame? The dude that lives 9 hours away? No! You gotta take your place in the circle of life. Everything the light touches will be your kingdom. Why are you throwing movie quotes at me? I'm not throwing movie quotes. We ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life. Warren leaves and I'm like, yes, I should. No, you're a good guy. No, screw it. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Warren, let's do this. So for the next few days, I'm getting in the zone. I'm breaking out my Super Nintendo out of my closet and I'm playing through Final Fight just so I can get to that bonus stage where you beat up that guy's car. I'm ready. Let's go. Thursday comes along. I'm ready to go. Warren's supposed to be at my house at 1 o'clock. 1:05, I don't see no Warren. And all of a sudden I start thinking about consequences and what if the cops catch us? And then I think, okay, but I'm not gonna call him. If he shows, let's go. If not, whatever. Warren never shows up. Tim, you got real lucky because me and my boy was about to go bonus stage all up on your Mitsubishi. Believe it or not, Tim and my girl got together. They were dating and about 2 months later, they broke up. And guess who she came crawling back to? And you know what I said? Say it with me for those that know. I ain't nobody's plan B. Either you choose me or you lose me. I hate that depressing realization you get when you finish a TV series and then you have to find new purpose in life. Like you'll just be sitting there like, what am I supposed to do now? My sleep schedule gets so jacked up whenever I find a new TV show. Like all day I'm tired, and then as soon as it's time to go to sleep, I'm wide awake. But I'm gonna tell y'all what makes me tired no matter what. Reading. True story, not exaggerating. Basically, what happens is whenever I find a new TV show, and then I go to try to read something, it does not go well. I can't say reading makes me sleepy because I could sit on Facebook and Twitter all day long and not get sleepy, which made me realize it's books. I'll be at Cold Stone putting all this vanilla Oreo deliciousness all up in my mouth, like size, holla at me because I'm on a diet, but not really because I do whatever I want. And every time I look next door and see somebody sitting outside Starbucks reading, I get so jello. Like sometimes it just amazes me. I'll just sit and stare at them like I'm on a safari looking at a rare animal like, oh my God, look at them. They're actually turning the pages. I seriously think there's a factory somewhere where they just spray every single book with chloroform because every time I sit down to read something, it's just like blah, blah. And then I wake up like 2 days later. If anyone ever wants to kidnap me and sell me on the black market in Bangkok, basically all they'd have to do is walk up on me and be like, hey, can you do me a favor and just read this out loud? And I'd be like, yeah, Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. True story, not exaggerating. But you know what else I noticed? I procrastinate a lot more whenever I find a new TV show. I just can't pull myself away. Like my puppy will be looking at me like, and I'm like, Cooper, relax. Okay, I'm just gonna watch one more episode of Heroes, and then I'm gonna feed you, and we can go to the park and run in slow motion. Okay, just one more episode. And then Siler kills the girl that I've had a crush on for like half the season, and the episode suddenly ends, and I'll be like, no!
no!
One more episode. And then 15 hours later, I'm still watching the stupid show, and then my dog is laying next to the front door dead in a pool of his own pee-pee. If we had a lunch date at 3 and I don't show up until 3:45, don't blame me. Blame Lost. Like, if you text me and I don't text you back, Walking Dead marathon in black and white, I fail a test at school, or I show up late for work. Yo, it was the My Little Pony mid-season finale last night, son. Don't even try to act like you didn't watch it, okay? Brony, stand up. You know what, though? It's much safer to invest your time into YouTube than it is for TV. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you drop from 14 million views one week to 7 million views the next week, guess what? YouTube ain't gonna be like, yo, your channel sucks. And you wanna know why they don't do that? Because it's not fair. I think the reason why these networks are so quick to cancel shows without giving us any closure is because they know there's not a whole lot of consequences. You ever heard the phrase, back by popular harassment? We should probably take that to the next level. Because if these network heads cancel shows and when they're in Santa Monica walking on the street, all of a sudden, or when they're out at a restaurant with their family and the servers start leaving little notes on the bottom of their bill. I'm not saying don't cancel shows, just if you're gonna cancel a show, give us 3 or 4 episodes of closure. Don't just pull the plug. 4 million viewers might be bad rating for television and not seem like a lot of people, until one of them steals your Mercedes. So network heads, next time you're in a meeting discussing what shows you're gonna pull the plug on and try to replace with new shows without giving us any closure, just remember, nowadays, people take their entertainment very seriously. You ever had a dream where your friend did you dirty in the dream and you wake up mad at them? Like, they would do me dirty in the dream and then they'd call me and I'd look at the phone like, oh God, you're so shady, bro. You're gonna really call me after what you did? I'm like ready to cut them off after what they did to me in a dream. And you ever have any like reoccurring dreams? The reoccurring dream I would always have always involved the cops. You know, it would be your standard traffic stop for racial profiling, and the cop would walk up and be like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I'd look at him and be like, yeah, because I'm black! And throw a Molotov at him and then like peel off and start a police chase. Or what about, have you ever had a dream? My brain does this to me sometimes, where at the end of the dream, you go to bed, so when you wake up, you're like, See, that would happen to me sometimes in my reoccurring police chase dreams. So I'd be all like, and I'd break away, run home, jump in bed, and go to sleep. So when I wake up, I'm like, yo, is that a dream or was that real? Be looking through the blinds like, either that was a dream or they haven't found me. Y'all don't know how many times I just be going through my day waiting for somebody to just be like, there he is! My dreams are very vivid. And they get so freaky and weird sometimes that I don't even really want to tell my friends. Because y'all know, our friends judge us off of the dreams that we tell them. I mean, let me not even get ahead of myself, because even I've been guilty of judging people based off of a dream they had. There was this girl I was dating, and it was long distance, so we would have like these Skype slumber parties where we'd both go to sleep and leave video Skype on. One night, she falls asleep, and in the middle of the night, she starts talking to herself, and she's like rolling up and like squeezing the pillow, and she's like, and she's smiling, and she goes, ooh, stop, you're so dirty. Oh my God. And like this girl's dead asleep, talking. So when she wakes up, I'm like, yo, so you had a dream last night, huh? How did you know? Don't worry about that. What was your dream about?
Well, I mean, me and Saeed, the Indian guy from Lost, we were like stranded on an island together.
A word? You cheating on me now? Oh, you know what? It's over. Oh, and here's another one. Have you guys ever started an action in a dream and then finished that action in real life when you wake up? Like you're pushing something real heavy and then you like fall out of bed? I was at my friend Robbie's house. They had this dream that I got in a cab and the dude tried to kidnap me. I trick you. I kidnap you and then I ransom you back to your family. And while this dude was monologuing, Dream Me pulled back his foot and I started charging it up like it was about to be nighttime for this dude. And then I started kicking, and Robbie is like right there, and I woke up and I did like a flash kick, inches from his face in real life. See, at that point, I had to stop spending the night at my friend's house, be at a slumber party, and start 100 hand slapping everybody at the party like E Honda, and then blame it on a dream. Like, I would look crazy. There was one nightmare I had. I will never forget it. To this day, I was so scared. I go to bed one night, and in the dream, I wake up in bed, and I look in the hallway. Optimus Prime is there like, just staring at me with like his eyes. He's not saying anything. This is a completely dark room, dark hallway, and he's just, I'm like, Optimus, no. And he doesn't even say anything back. He's like, for like an hour. You know how scared I was? Because you're blocking my only exit. So I wake up like, run into my parents' room and jump in their bed, and they already knew what was going on. So I get in my parents' room, fall asleep. I wake up in the dream and Optimus was in the hall. Wait, I woke up in the dream again and Optimus was still in the hall. You know what? I'm just cutting you off, Optimus. We used to be cool, but how you gonna do me like that in the dream, bro? There's a trend going around rating celebrities that you've met, thought it looked fun, so here we go. Ellen. I was at an event for Finding Dory. Ellen and the entire cast was doing promotions for Finding Dory. I was in the green room. Ellen's handler brings her over to me. Hey, this is sWooZie. Nice to meet you. She did seem like she didn't want to be there just a little bit, and I'm sure she was tired, which is understandable. You're doing promotions. I know Ellen was in a lot of controversy lately. This rating has nothing to do with that. This also is not me rating how I think people are as people. This is just me rating the experience of meeting them. Giving her a 6.5 average rating because it was an average kind of meeting. Next, the GOAT, Stan Lee. 1,000 out of 10. Dude was so cool. It was during E3. I went to Wolfgang Puck's downtown Los Angeles. Walked into the after party, looked to my right. There was nobody there because I was there early. Stan Lee over there sitting down with two dudes. I didn't care what was going on. I walked over like, yo. As I was running over, I was in my head like, please, I hope you're one of the cool ones. Dude was so cool. Like, he stopped talking to his peeps and he was like,
What's up, young man?
he took pictures with me, he took pictures with all my friends, and people started showing up. He took pictures with everybody, and he treated everybody like he was their best friend. 1,000 out of 10. Next, Kim Kardashian. I did a video about how I met Kim K already. She was so nice. I was at an after party with DirecTV. I met her on the red carpet. Interviewed her, I went backstage, she went backstage too. She came up to me and we started talking. I was getting strong vibes, like, bro, shoot your shot. Like, yo, you ever wanna do a collab? Let me give you my number. But her boyfriend was like, right there. I don't wanna be disrespectful. If you ever meet Kim K, after that picture, there's a very good chance she'll take it with you. I met Anthony Anderson. We actually butted heads when we met. Still a cool dude. I was on a production and he was one of the guest stars, and my agent warned me ahead of time. She was like, just so you know, Anthony Anderson, he still has a lot of hood in him, so be ready. On the day he showed up, they dumped like 12 pages of new script on my lap and they were just like, memorize all that. And I was like, huh, y'all are crazy. Show up to set, action. I'm reading my lines, but I'm on the struggle bus, y'all. So after like 3 takes of me just messing up these lines, Anthony Anderson goes, sWooZie, real quick, this is clear. This is why you're on YouTube and I'm in Hollywood. Butted heads, then we squashed it. We kept it pushing. Anthony Anderson, 5 out of 10. Still a cool dude. Let's spend some time uplifting each other. Not a lot of us in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? It's just pretty much Michael B. Jordan and Donald Glover, and that's it. Jada Pinkett Smith. First thing you need to know about her, this woman is Photoshop in real life. Her skin is distractingly perfection. I was at a party, she walked in. I love Matrix 1, not a huge fan of Matrix 2, but she was in one of my favorite movie franchises of all time, so I'm gonna talk to you. She was telling me about how she got the call about the role, how she got the role, what it was like on set. So I threw a curveball at her out of the blue just to see how she'd react. Her son Trey took one of my friends out on a date. I was like, by the way, tell your son Trey to leave my girlfriend alone. What? Whoa. I don't get involved with his love life, so that's not on me. I'm just playing, girl, you good. I'm gonna do Jaden Smith because I met him at the same party as his mom, and I thought he was gonna be weird. When I approached him and started talking to him, I thought he was gonna be like, did you know the square root of pi is carrots? I was expecting him to be like looking all over the room as I was talking to him because of all the memes, you know? Dude was like extra cool. His song Ghost, like I bump in my car a lot. So we were talking about that. He was telling me how he came up with the flow and what it was like when he first heard the beat. And he was saying, my next album, every song is gonna be a banger like that. Next, Obama. Let me throw Obama in here because every 2 or 3 months, all the Instagram meme channels start posting that question in the interview, Kendrick versus Drake. Whenever I'm in the room with a celebrity, I do watch how they treat other people, not just how they treat me. Regardless of all of our political views, after we did the interview, after we took selfies, when we wrapped and he was about to leave, he said, when I walked in, I walked by a side room and noticed y'all had a bunch of assistants in there. Do y'all want to bring them out and maybe see if they want some pictures too? Celebrities, they make up these rules in their mind and all these excuses as to why they don't want to take pictures with their fans. So yeah, when he's reaching out to the little people for pictures, that spoke volumes about his character to me. Kevin Durant, super cool dude. He was doing a live stream on YouTube and they asked if I wanted to host it. I was like, I'm down. Honestly, it's like the vibe I got from Kevin, he's like super warm and friendly and just like, it's so easy to talk to. 10 out of 10. Actually, when we were talking, he told me that his favorite movie was Lion King, so I was bumping him up to like 12 out of 10. Met Steph Curry. Steph was also cool. We had a red carpet event. I like Steph Curry. My boy that I was with loved him. My boy ran up, started talking to Steph. They were hitting it off. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get a picture for my boy with Steph Curry, right? As they looked like they were breaking apart, I was like, Steph, yo, picture. And I think he thought I was trying to like interrupt them. So he was like, man. I know Steph Curry did not just shoo me. So then I sat there and I was like, so once they were done talking, I was like, yo, I'm his boy. Let me get a picture for him real quick. And then he was like, They pose, chickeek. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna give Steph, I mean, that whole misunderstanding aside, I'm gonna give Steph a 9 out of 10. Okay, last one. I met J.J. Abrams. Now, I liked J.J. Abrams. I didn't love him, but when I met him, this dude turned me into a fanboy. Me and Bandit were at E3. I was walking this way. He's walking this way. We pass each other. And I'm like, is that J.J. Abrams walking around this crowd? Like he's not J.J. Abrams? Out here like he's a normie. Run back over to him, tap on the shoulder. I'm like, is you JJ? And he's like, yee. Can I get a picture? And he's like, yee. I'm not trying to bother the man. I'm trying to keep this interaction as short as humanly possible. So Bandit takes this super blurry picture and I'm like, alright, deuces. And as I start walking away, JJ's like, wait. Tell me about yourself. What's your name? And I turn around like, you talking to me? So I'm like, I'm sWooZie. And he goes, sWooZie, that's an interesting name. Is that your real name? Is that your nickname? And we start talking. I'm just like, this man's trying to talk to me right now. And this is what I mean. That was a simple interaction for JJ, and little did he know that someday I'd be on here talking to thousands of people about how amazing this dude is. Something else to remember, guys, everybody has one of these, so a bad experience can go a very long way nowadays. I just want to say real quick, celebrities don't owe us anything. So if you ever see a celebrity and they don't want to take a picture with you, they don't owe us anything. But on the same side of that coin, we don't owe them anything. So the next time they drop an album or the next time they drop a movie and we don't go to see it, they're kind of done. But I'm not on here trying to be problematic. I keep my head down, I try to stay out of problems. So the really bad experiences that I've had, I'm just gonna keep off of this video. Maybe in the future when I'm a billionaire and I don't care, I might talk about those bad experiences. I don't know. We all have bad days and it is possible to catch people on a bad day. However, there are some celebrities that I've met who were real buttholes. And there are some that I've heard talking about their fans and they don't like their fans. It's so easy to be cool nowadays. You almost have to go out of your way to not be cool. So for those of you who will be famous someday, just remember, all right, it takes 3 seconds to take a picture, and whatever excuse you're about to say, well, I don't take pictures because when the sun is right here, and it's on a Tuesday, and it's on a weekday, and the picture could have been taken, and you're done. So if you're a celebrity and you stumble onto this video, or if you plan to be a celebrity at some point, just understand your fans are your boss. They're your lifeline. When they're done with you, it's a wrap. So it's a good idea to keep your boss happy. I'm just super saying. Yeah, I let him sit on the stairs. Wow. Who said that you could do that? John told me I could do it.
Oh, John told you this? Oh, well, let's go talk to him. Where's John? Is John over in this section?
No. guy and we have this girl. Yeah, I must start a video. Like I haven't been gone for the last 5 months. Anyways, there's this guy and this girl. Guy might be me, the girl might be me. I might not even be in this equation at all, okay? It's a true story. That's all that matters. So there's a guy and there's this girl. I missed you guys. Thank you for being so patient. I'm losing my voice. I've been yelling for the last few days. Anyways, so there's this guy and this girl. I know some of my friends are sitting there like, I know who he's about to talk about. No, you don't. You don't know my struggle. You don't know what I've been through. So there's this guy and this girl. You've seen couples like this. These guys would argue for no reason. The guy would walk into the room and be like, what day is it, babe?
Tuesday. Why?
I don't know. I'm bored. Mortal Kombat! Boom, ba-jump, 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 boom. And they start fighting. For no reason. You've seen these couples. You might have been one of these couples. You know what? Let's just pause the story really quickly. Let's just address this head on. Gaslighters never think they're the problem. Alright, so let's just break it down Barney style. If you're being dishonest or you're telling a lie and somebody else is getting close to catching you, that's typically when gaslighting happens. Some of y'all remember that story a little while ago when I was 13 and took my mom's car and drove it around and then parked it like not in the right parking spot, and the next day my mom came along like, where's my car? I thought I parked it right here. Mom, no. You remember you parked it like way over there. That's me gaslighting my mom. It doesn't just happen in relationships. Gaslighting happens anytime you're just trying to trick somebody or manipulate somebody. Because usually whenever we feel ourselves about to get caught in a lie or we feel ourselves getting cornered, we have a defense mechanism where we just gaslighting. So for those of y'all who are too young to be in a relationship yet, you can gaslight your parents, you can gaslight your friends. And the way to get around this is just be honest. Because you want to know what's worse than getting caught in a lie? Is when that person that you're gaslighting realizes that you were gaslighting them. Oh, then you got problems, cousin. I love when you catch somebody lying and you know that they're lying and they know that you know that they're lying and they still lie. Because see, the reason I'm even making a video like this is because a lot of my friends around me are dealing with this problem right now. And the gaslighters think that they're innocent. So let's just all try this exercise, okay? If you're watching this video and you're in a relationship, just say to yourself, it's me, hi. I'm the problem, it's me, I'm a gaslighter. At some point in time, we've all gaslit somebody. In our own eyes, we're always doing the right thing. There's some people, believe it or not, who just need conflict, but there are actually those people out there who need drama, and when there's no drama, they will start it. I know it sounds crazy, but I've encountered it. I had a friend catch her boyfriend one time being sneaky. This man FaceTimed her twice in the same day, and she called me and she was like, he's up to something. What you mean? He normally only FaceTimes me one time max ever in a day. He FaceTimed me twice. He's up to something. How much you wanna bet? She was dead right. She caught him meeting up with some other girl at the bar, just off the energy that he was putting off. There's certain actions that we do that give off energy. Even our inaction will give off a certain energy. If your boyfriend or girlfriend or mom or dad is a fine-tuned antenna, they will pick up on this energy and they will catch you. So don't think you over here like, I'm gonna slide over real quick on a sneaky link and they're never gonna find out. So no matter how sneaky or how good of an actor you think you are, people can pick up on energy, people pick up on vibes. So here's a solution. Be honest. Anyways, sorry for the tangent, back to the story. So there's this guy and this girl. Guy walks in the room, hey babe, what day is it? Valentine's Day, why? Mortal Kombat! And they start a fight. Even though the guy started the fight, he was like, you know what, let me squash it, I'm being irrational, let me take you out to get something to eat. Guy takes the girl to her favorite restaurant, like the fight is starting to calm down, but he's ignoring her because he's on his phone. Normally this guy, when he's texting, he holds his phone to where the girlfriend can't see who he's texting, but this time, he's holding the phone to where she can just see just a little bit. So the girl glances at the phone like, who are you texting that you ignored me for? She sees that her boyfriend is texting his ex. In the middle of a fight. Remember how I told y'all there's some people who just can't let stuff be calm? They need some kind of turmoil? The fight starts all over again. No, it's not. I was texting her to be like, I can't talk to you no more, out of the blue random. She's here like, no, I'm not stupid. You're texting your ex to make me even more mad. Later the dude admits, yeah, I wasn't done fighting and you were being calm and I wanted you to get mad like me, so I was trying to get you on my same level of upset. Something else you guys have to understand, in relationships, there are those people that when they get mad and you stay calm, there's some people that feel like you don't care enough if you're not getting as mad as they are. So they want you to get as mad as they are. So they'll do things to get you as mad as they are. Here's the thing, we all do things like this in relationships. This scenario with the dude texting his ex in the middle of a fight, for the girl was the beginning of the end. That, for her, cemented the relationship in a certain direction. It was a ticking time bomb until doomsday at that point. Our actions cement certain consequences. For example, for those of you who play chess, when you're playing white, your first move is either with a pawn or a knight. Depending on which of those two moves you make, then cement the outcome of the end of the game. The moves you make can lock certain consequences into the fate of your relationship with that person. So, the relationships around us are extremely important. Boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, friends, family, brother, sister. Reflect on your own actions. Make sure you're not the toxic one. I found that when dealing with people, there's something you can do that fixes all that. And you know what it is? Just be honest. I was chilling with my boy and he was like, hey, I saw your raising kids weird on purpose video and you know that's not how it's gonna work, right? Whatever you want your kids to be into, they're gonna wanna do the opposite. It doesn't matter what it is. I was like, that sucks for them. Cause if one day I'm like, hey kids, let's watch anime. And they go, anime sucks. I'm gonna have to drive them to the mall and leave them there. From Trinidad and from the islands, we don't know that world. We don't have a choice. My mom wanted me to learn piano when I was little. Guess who took piano lessons for 8 years? 8 years. I'm over at my white friend's house and they're calling their parents by first name. Their mama walk in.
David, how many times did I tell you, clean your room before friends come over? Dang it, Susan, what the F? How many times have I told you, stay out of my flipping room?
Let me try something like that. My mom would not let me get the second syllable out of my mouth.
Adonde, clean your room! Oh yeah? Well that...
Natasha wins. Fatality. Flawless victory. That's how that would go down. Not all my white friends would talk to their parents like that, but even now, I'll be chilling with my friends and their mom or dad will call and they'll look at the caller ID and be like, oh. And I started wondering, like, why does that happen? Like, they're not fighting with their parents, they're not mad at their parents. And then I caught myself a little while ago doing this. And I started wondering, like, why is that attitude associated with our parents? I think it's internally, we start bottling up all the times that our parents have ever annoyed us and we just put it in a certain compartment in our brain. Not really doing the same for ourselves. You know how many times when I was little, my dad would be like, all right, I'm ready, go pee before we leave.
I don't even have to pee.
15 minutes later, we're on the road and I'm looking up at my dad like,
I have to use the bathroom.
I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all were like me. I was a mischievous kid.
This is a Donde Thorn. Yes, that's me.
You know how many times I've stolen stuff from the grocery store? My mom would finish shopping, we're in the car driving home. My mom turned around like, where did you get that Butterfingers from? One day my grandmother got me so mad, I wrote her a letter with 3 words on it. F you, grandma. And I didn't write just the letter F, it was a whole word. There was no blurred mosaic on it. It was the full word. I left it on her bed and I was out. My grandmother found it. She started dying of laughter, but my mom, she was so mad. She was like,
Adonde! I'm so mad. I don't even know what to do to you right now.
Granted, there are some pretty crappy parents out there in the world. My friend Colleen, her mom got 6 credit cards underneath Colleen's name, maxed them all out, and crashed Colleen's credit. That's a crappy mom. I think at a certain point we all start taking our parents for granted, but there was one thought that really resonated with me. My mom called me one day, I was getting ready to start rolling my eyes and I thought, you know what? This lady is instrumental to my existence. If not for her, I wouldn't even be here right now. No boyfriend, no girlfriend, no regular friend should be more important or more of a priority than your parents. I know, crazy, right? Because honestly, our parents didn't have to have us. And even after they did, it would have been very easy for them to just pull up somewhere, be like, peace, and bounce. I don't know, just something to keep in mind next time your parents are being annoying AF. I'm at a party talking to my boy Anthony. I don't know how we got on the topic, but we started talking about rappers. From rappers, Jay-Z comes up. Jay-Z, you know, when I was a lifeguard, he came out to the pool. He was a cool guy. I met Jay-Z. He is not cool. I judge celebrities by how they treat their fans. What happened? I was at work. I was in the break room on the pooter, hacking. There is no spoon. Simone is at front desk in the fitness center. A customer's walking out, and then I hear him say, "What's your name, Simone? Well, if you get bored, come see me in 7090. Big pimpin', spending G's. That voice sounds familiar.
I think Jay-Z just hit on me.
What?
I think Jay-Z just hit on me. He wants me to come to his room.
So I do a quick search of the manifesto.
There is no spoon.
And I look at the presidential suite. Boom. I know that's his alias. But I know Jay-Z is not staying here. I love this man. So I go outside to the pool.
There you go right there. Is this real life? Or is it a fantasy? This is my moment. I need to go over there and spit some hot bars and launch my rap career or something.
But I wasn't ready to meet him just yet. It wasn't the time. Go to the top of the slide, I'm up there. Jay-Z's down there for like a good hour. And not one person's coming up to me. He's starting to look a little sad. So I figured, let me kill 2 stones with 1 bird. I can test and see if he's a cool celebrity. And I'll make him feel a little good. Send somebody over to say, like, I appreciate you and everything you do for this country. Hey, little boy.
Yeah.
You know who Jay-Z is?
No.
He's famous.
Oh my God.
He's right over there.
Oh my God, a famous person here. Oh my God. JB, I love you.
Take the picture with the kid. I need to do more recon. Every kid that came up to the slide, I was like, there he go.
Oh my God.
Next thing I know, there's like 97 kids trying to get a picture with Jigga. Aw, Trick love the kids. This dude signed every autograph, took every picture. He was kind of sitting out there like he wanted to be seen.
There's still not enough evidence here to support my theory.
I start calling my boys from their house like, yo, Jay-Z's right over here. I'm looking right at him. Pull up. I'm on top of the slide waving at people on the street like, yo, pull up. Jay-Z meet and greet.
Hi, yeah, I'm here for the Jay-Z meet and greet. Do you guys take card? No cash only, mate. What was that? No cash only, mate. I'm having a hard time catching the accent. Just one more time. Cash only, mate. By the way, Jay-Z hit on me.
Jay-Z was down there looking like, how do all these 5-year-olds know who I am? When I get bumped in the rotation, I walk by Escabana a few times picking up towels. I could have said something, but it wasn't my time to meet him. But Jay-Z stayed on the pool deck for 7 hours, just chilling there. As soon as it got dark, these 2 girls show up. So 11 o'clock comes, time to close the pool. All right, I'm gonna go talk to Jay-Z now. It is time, Simba. I got my mixtape in my hand. I'm ready to hand it to him, right? Casual. Jay-Z sees me coming over to his cabana to kick him out. He like taps the girl. They all go into the cabana. He turns around and looks at me and he goes and closes the drapes. Now I turn around to Marco, so Marco sees all this and he just goes, just leave him in there. Man, I was gonna take a picture and flex on my ex. So yeah, I met him, but I didn't meet him. But anyways, yeah, what happened when you met him? Dog, I'm at this party, right? This thing is exclusive. This thing's so exclusive, it's just me and 14 other people. That's it. Then they say they got some special guests coming out, and then guess who walked up on the stage? Jay-Z? No, Beyonce. So you know me, and I'm looking at her, and she looking at me, and she's singing right to me, dog.
Tonight, I'll be a naughty girl. I'm calling all my girls.
And she stuck her hand out at me, and I grabbed it, and I kissed it. So then once Beyonce finished, I go to the bar to figure out how I'm gonna break up with my girlfriend so me and Beyonce could be together. And these black dudes just yoked me up. And these dudes was black. I mean, black dudes. I mean, like, they so black, their eyes were yellow, dog. They snatched me up, throw me in this back room, and then Jigga was in there. And he go, hey, yo, bodyguard, drop an ambiguous beat so this video don't get demonetized. What you think, you could F with me? Jigga what? Recognize Trick J to the Z. Jigga who? You just gonna run up in the club, son? And start disrespecting me? I don't even know what you talking about. Dog, I think you got me confused. Oh, that wasn't you kissing on my girl? That was a mother butt ugly dude? My bad, I wasn't trying to be rude. What should I have my boys do to you? And as soon as he said that, my heart sank into my booty. I realized he was hinting at a dirt nap, pushing up daisies. See you at the crossroads, and you won't be lonely. Now see, at this time, they were still dating in secret, so the public didn't know. So I didn't know. Jigga man, I swear to God, I didn't know. I didn't mean no disrespect. Just please let me leave. See, people see all this rap stuff and forget that I'm from the block. And what did he do? And what happened? He kicked me out the club. I don't see how you can hate from outside the club. You can't even get it. I'm confused because he mad at me for kissing the girl hand. And then he go and cheat on her. sWooZie, I thought I was about to die. I think I'm seriously traumatized from all of this. Bruh, you are looking at this completely wrong. You got to touch Beyonce, the queen herself. Anytime something bad happens to you and you start focusing on the negative, just ask yourself this. But did you die? No. Is not shutting down. We're going to delete your account because it's getting overcrowded, okay? Another thing people aren't really big fans of is when they keep getting email after email about, hey, so-and-so needs your help getting their donkey back into the barn. But when you're constantly getting emails about your donkey needing help finding a shelter, that stuff can get a little annoying. Also, the quizzes, 1 or 2 quizzes are great. Well, when I go to my wall and I see these quizzes saying, do you think that Donde is hot? And I look and it's some random dude, that's a very thin line you're walking if you decide to go down that road. When you join too many fan pages, especially when you join the fan pages of stuff like, hey, let's count from 0 to 1 billion. Ready, go. And it takes up your entire wall of updates. Something else I don't understand that's kind of getting popular is what's up with tagging elbows. Getting a little out of control from what I'm seeing. And when you tag hundreds of pictures and videos when the person's not even in it, yeah, don't do that. Another way you might annoy people on your friends list is the relationship status. First, you're in a relationship, and then boom, you're single. And then boom, you're back in a relationship, and boom, it's complicated. Like, listen, girl, don't be playing with my emotions like that. I've been eyeballing you and waiting patiently for the last 9 months, so as soon as I see it's single, my hopes start getting up, and before I can even refresh the page, you're back with this guy. Listen, we've been over this. Stay single for sWooZie. Us guys are very fragile, and we don't like when our emotions get played with. I mean, that's what people tell me. I hear other guys and girls. This is what I hear on the streets. Moving along. And then you got the people who like to update with TMI. You've seen it. These people like to post stuff like, I used the bathroom. It was number 2. This is not K5. I've seen it. This is not me just making stuff up, and I know you've seen it too. To be honest though, the TMI, that doesn't bother me that much. You know what else doesn't bother me? What I call SUI. Super unnecessary information. I went to my cousin's house. I'm in his kitchen. Oh my God, his chairs are white. And something else people are starting to do. I'm at a party with a bunch of my friends, and one of them turns to me and goes, boys have no idea how hard it is to be a girl. But the next day, I started thinking about what she said, and I was like, yo, she right though. I would be a bad girl, and I'm not talking like Rihanna bad. I would be a not good girl. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, 100 P, if I was a girl, I would have a mustache. Whenever I see a girl who doesn't shave or wax her upper lip, and she's got a little level 1 mustache going, I'm always like, same girl, same. You would never not see me wearing pants, because I'm not shaving my legs either. And I wouldn't do heels or wedges. When you go out to the clubs and you see those girls walking barefoot, that would be me every day at 12 in the afternoon, I'm just going to class. Heels are the most uncomfortable thing ever. I know some of you guys are like, sWooZie, how you know heels are uncomfortable? Don't sit there and try to act like you've never been hanging out with your girlfriend and her best friend, and then they bust out with, we wonder what you look like as a girl. And they put a wig on you and lipstick on you and a dress and heels, and then all 3 of y'all go out to the club for ladies' night. Don't sit here and try to act like that's never happened to you. And makeup, fellas, I know you've seen the commercials where the girl just splashes water on her face. That's not how makeup comes off. You gotta sit there scrubbing for 37 hours. And girls, y'all are expected to look good 24 hours a day. I'm a dude, I know. We start Snapchatting you girls at midnight talking about send me some selfies, girl. If I'm a girl, you're gonna get a picture of my feet, whatever I'm watching on TV, and a bucket of KFC in my lap. As soon as I get home from school or work, my bra's coming off, my lashes are coming off, my face is coming off, and I'll be looking like Smeagol until the next day. And guys, another reason we wouldn't last a week or maybe even a day as a girl is because we have a really low threshold for pain. And I know society has the phrase, yo, why you acting like a girl? Man up. Guys, have you ever had your legs waxed? You ever had your face waxed? Or waxing your bikini lines? Have y'all ever had your eyebrows threaded or microbladed? I just found out about microblading like 2 days ago. They cut their skin open and put ink in to fill in the eyebrows. And you gotta get that redone every few months. And guys, when it comes to maintenance, we don't gotta do nothing like that. Like, let's keep it a 100p right now. And it's expensive to do all this stuff. And the girl on girl hate, I'll be out somewhere, sitting next to a group of girls, and a girl walk by. Look, who this girl thinks she is? Over here, breathing air. The standard that society holds women to is impossible. I haven't even touched on the focus on having a nice butt and a nice chest and lower back dimples and thigh gaps and double standards when it comes to hookups. And something else that I haven't even touched on, childbirth. I'm just keeping it 100p. Like, if most of us guys had to switch over today and start being a girl, we'd be dead in like 15 seconds. Fellas, we all have women in our lives. Do whatever you can within your power to make their day as easy as possible, or even just a little bit easier. Because these girls out here make being a girl look ridiculously easy. I think some of my friends have this disease where they can't keep secrets. I mean, I'm gonna keep it raw. We've all heard the words, don't tell anybody, and then we run and tell people. But at a certain point, you gotta understand how secrets work. In case you didn't get the memo, how it goes is I tell you, hey, can you keep a secret? You say, yeah. And you tell 1 or 2 other people, they run and tell 1 or 2 other people, and so on, and so on. And now all my business is out in the streets. In some cases, I tell this guy a secret, and he tells one of our mutual friends, and that mutual friend comes back to me and tells me that you're running your mouth. Now, you about to get dealt with. I used to be that friend that used to, run and leak some secrets, until that junk blew up all up in my face. I was good friends with this guy named Daryl and his girlfriend Jen, and it's hard being good friends with couples because when they break up, guess who they come running to? You. They break up, I'm on the phone with Daryl, giving him some advice, and then he randomly busts out with, Donde, I'm a good dude. I'm a good dude. Jane think I'm a bad dude. Like, if I was really a bad dude, actually, I can't even say nothing. I can't even. What's up, man? You could tell me. Promise me you won't tell nobody, especially not Jane. Come on, man. We boys, we dogs. Bruh, you know Jane, okay? I mean, you know Jane, bruh. Bruh. This girl, I mean, I'm not a mean dude, but this girl sent me some pictures of her naked, buck naked. And if I was a mean dude, I'd done put these things all up on the internet. Promise you won't say nothing to nobody, especially not Jane. You promise? I promise. Okay, click, beep, 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 beep. Jane, girl, you ain't gonna believe it. I just got off the phone with Daryl. I'm about to tell you something, but you gotta promise you ain't gonna say nothing to him, okay? He told me he got some pictures of you naked. But he said he ain't gonna show them to nobody, but he was just saying if he was a mean dude, he would show them to people. I knew you longer than I knew him, so I'm just, my allegiance is with you. Don't say nothing to him, you promised. How about 45 minutes later, I get a call from Daryl. I trusted you. Crying on the phone, snot bubbles and all. Jane ran and told Daryl. I got mad at Jane, but at the same time, she did the same thing that I did. So, the next time somebody tells you something and then you hear the words, don't tell nobody, do yourself a favor. Don't tell nobody. Whatever you put out into the universe comes back to you. In middle school, there was this dude named Jake. Puberty hit Jake when he was 12. So this dude was like 6 foot tall for no reason. But the first time we got into a tiff, it was after school, we're playing basketball. Me and my cousin Shane were on the same team. Jake fouls Shane. They start getting into it. Jake grabbed my cousin. I just blacked out. I went full throttle, Charlie's Angel. You got a problem with my cousin, you got a problem with me. I run out of nowhere. I snapped and turned into Batman and I jumped on his back. 2v1. Literally in a single motion. He just cranked and then flung me like a rag doll. I was in a splint for like 3 weeks. Sleeping with a splint is not fun. Jake just starts harassing me every day. Eventually, Jake just got tired of the standard bullying, I guess, and then he found a new way to entertain himself. If you weren't paying attention, he would run up to you and pull down your pants. Well, it's not bad enough that I'm failing algebra and failing French class. Imagine how traumatic it is psychologically coming to school, looking over your back in between every single class, wondering if you're trying to pull your pants down and you're gonna be exposed, and now I gotta start my OnlyFans account. I say this kinda jokingly, but not jokingly, because it was very stressful when all this was happening. And then one day, everything changed, because we got a new kid, Sterling. I see Jake just looking at Sterling like, fresh meat. First day Sterling gets there, as soon as school ends, Jake goes over to him and pushes him. Sterling pops Jake in the mouth. You know, they say if you ever go to jail, you gotta start a fight on the first day. That. Jake did not hit him back. Something very strange happened. Jake and Sterling became best friends. You know how rappers collab and they do an album together? Yeah, that happened. These dudes went on a bullying tour. They got so tired of bullying people in our class, they started bullying like high schoolers. Granted, I saw Sterling get his butt kicked by this sophomore, and that was one of the most satisfying things I had ever seen in my life up to that point. But these dudes just wanted to fight everybody. I think it was like 8th grade, Jake was having a birthday party, and he came to school and he was telling everybody like, hey guys, come to my birthday party, and nobody wanted to come. When you're harassing people, people don't want to be around you like that. I think he put 2 and 2 together, so he started acting really nice. For like a week straight, he was nice to everybody, and then some people were like, okay. So Jeremy said he was gonna go, Robbie said he was gonna go, my cousin Shane said he was gonna go. I was the last person invited, so I'm like, okay, down. Now granted, I'm a nerd. Nerds are my peoples, okay? No matter what outfit y'all see me dressed up in, still nerd. Bullies can just sense nerd. But I figured, let me go to his party, let me get in good with him, maybe he'll leave me alone. Go to this party and it was pretty fun. His dad was barbecuing. Then the video games came out and we put on Madden. Not a good idea. I knew this play, HB toss left with Cincinnati, you couldn't stop it. So no matter how bad of a predicament, I could be 4th and 90. You knew what was coming. I beat Robbie, I beat Jeremy, I beat Shane, and then it's Jake's turn. I don't just start beating him. I run HB toss left every play. And I was talking junk the entire time. I made it a point to beat him worse than anybody else at the sleepover. I was thinking this dude is gonna go back to harassing me anyway, so I might as well just get my revenge right now. For 15 minutes, I gave him a taste of what he'd been doing to me for the last 3 years. So then around midnight, we're all in his room and he says, let's all see who can stay up the longest. Whoever goes to sleep first is gonna get it. We're in his room, we're just talking. We're all there and we're talking, I'm just like, yeah. Next thing I know, I hear giggling. I am woken up by the sound of laughter and the smell of beans. I don't know what's going on, but I'm mad because everybody's laughing and I realize they did something to me. They opened up cans of beans and poured it all over me. They poured it on my head, they poured it down my shirt. Shane is there, holding a can of beans laughing like, bro, eat too, Brute? You remember the time I jumped on Jake's back to save you? I have not eaten a single bean since that night. I'm traumatized, I just have PTSD. Monday comes, we go back to school, Jake goes right back to bullying everybody. This dude just made middle school a traumatic experience for every guy in our class. And once high school hit, Jake went off to a different school, I went off to a different school, never saw that dude again. So I tell you all that backstory to catch you up to now. Shane has a barbecue, we're out there talking, we're catching up. You remember Jake, you remember that time I saved you? I jumped on him like I was Darkwing Duck, and then you stabbed me in the back by pouring beans all over me at his party? And then Shane goes, oh, did you hear what happened to him? No. On prom night, he went out partying, got super drunk, got in his car, drove home, and hit a construction worker, and then kept driving. The cops went and looked at the cameras and traced them back to his house, showed up and arrested him, and the judge stacked all that. Driving under the influence, speeding in a construction zone, hitting a construction worker, fleeing the scene of a crime. They gave him life in jail. He has not seen the light of day since the day after prom. Obviously, I was not happy hearing this news, but this is real life, no respawns. I'm gonna get on here and share this story because hopefully somebody can learn something from it, but I don't want to hear any more stories like this. We're all human, we're all gonna make mistakes, but they say what you put out in the universe comes back to you. Man, I ain't even like her like that. Then I could tell she ain't like me like that, which made me like her like that, which made her like me like that, which made me block her. I blocked her like Tetris, my boy.
Excuse me.
What?
Yeah, I got a rice bowl. It's a 3-pointer.
$25.
For a 3-pointer?
Man, let me call you back, pimp.
I come here twice a week and get the same thing and
Step your funds up, broke boy. Skibbity gang. GG, bzz, next.
Yeah, can I get a cup of water? No, 'cause you're gonna put Sprite in it? That homeless guy right over there is literally filling up his whole flask.
I ain't dumb. I don't take big pots before minis. I know what you're trying to do.
Can I talk to a manager or something? DeMarcus, what seems to be the problem here?
I just prevented a robbery.
That's cap, sir. I just want a cup of water 'cause I'm dehydrated. Here you go, sir. I apologize for the inconvenience. You can have a soda on the house. DeMarcus, if someone asks for water, just give it to them, okay? And stop vaping by the register. It smells like Tinkerbell's butthole over here. Go outside and vape on your break, bro. I'm this close to firing you.
Ain't no ocean, but you're still a beach.
a bingy money.
Hi. Can I have 3 vinaigrettes, please?
Nah, we ran out. Next.
I can actually see them right there in the fridge.
Oh my God. Man, y'all are so annoying. $3.
$3? This is ridiculous. You guys don't even fill them up halfway. It's like barely covering the bottom of the container.
Ain't nothing free, playboy, especially in this economy. Partner.
A bingy money.
Hey, Fluffus, you doing?
I'm just grabbing a mobile order.
Nah. You supposed to show me the order number on the app, Buster.
That guy didn't show you an order number.
Okay, firstly, A, take that bass out your voice, and C, we're gonna skip B because it's irrelevant like you. C, for 07 and 310, West Side and East Side, I'm confused in a mug.
Bro, shut up. You sound like an NPC. All of you chocolate people are the same.
What the fluff you just called me?
Did I stutter, mutter, fudder?
I know you didn't just call me no NPC.
Ain't nothing between me and you but air, pimp.
Alright, that's it.
Catch me outside with it.
Actually, I don't think this is a good idea. You agree with me on this one, right?
Good and evil are just words, Anakin.
Oh, come on, man, be serious.
Have you heard the story about Dark Plagueis the Wise? It's not a story that you would hear from a Jedi.
Who want to smoke? Who want to smoke?
It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 9:05 degrees. I love Chipotle. Chipotle is my life.
Next story time I want to do is Fast and Curious. What number are we on? I got a few more ideas for animated skits. So maybe 4 or 5 more of these skits before another story time. We'll see. I hope you guys are liking them. Also, y'all remember in the Disney Confessions video when I snuck in and there was no lines and you could ride all the rides? Orlando Informer is doing the same convention thing at Universal on August 9th and 10th. I got a link in the description. It's around like $250 for a ticket. They closed the park. It's a private event. Free food. Free drinks. This was me walking around at the last one. Double fisting butterbeer all night long. If you use the link that's in my description, you get $20 off. Part 2. So then Bernard was like, bro, did she come over? And I'm like, hold on. There's a lot that went down before we actually get to that part. So now as soon as my prom date is like, okay, fine, I'm coming over on Tuesday and we can do this. All right, I get off the phone with her. So I start looking around my room for the best spot to put my camera and I find a good one. I turn it on to see what it looks like through the viewfinder, and then suddenly it makes this crazy noise like beep, 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 beep. And on the LCD screen, the eject logo starts flashing. So I eject the tape and try to put it back in, but the camera just spits it right back out. Now I try this about 10 more times, and each time I get the same results. The camera just keeps rejecting the tape. Then I start getting a little worried. I'm thinking, what is wrong with this camera? I just bought it. You know, I was feeling so good with this newly acquired information. My prom date, she kind of wants to get all crazy and she wants to tape it. So I'm feeling really good, but the more I play with this camera, the more that happiness kind of morphs into panic. Because, you know, the idea in my head now is this camera is broken. I grab the instruction manual and I go through it page by page from front to back and then page by page from back to front, and I don't see anything about any flashing eject logo. So then I stop and I'm like, God, why? God, no, this camera has to work. And then I stopped and thought to myself, I'm saying, God, please let this camera work, but would God really want me doing this? You know, I'm no pastor or anything, but I'm pretty sure God wouldn't be a fan of me doing this right now. So I'm thinking, maybe this is some kind of sign. You know, regardless of whether it was a sign or if there was some message for me to get, I wasn't about to let this camera win. So I'm looking at this camera now and I'm like, you are not going to win this battle, Mr. Handycam. So I bust out my screwdriver and I have no idea what I'm doing, but I start taking apart this camera. Every screw I see on the camera, I'm just unscrewing it. At this point, I really have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just unscrewing random screws and stripping down the camera piece by piece. After about 15 minutes, there's all these little pieces everywhere and it looks like I just disassembled Johnny Five in some crazy robot autopsy or something. So before it got too confusing, I started putting it back together. I put the last screw in and then I turned it on and the camera worked fine. So then the next day comes. I start to go over some more places I can set up the camera and I think for a second, you know, let me just turn it on real quick to make sure this thing is still working. I turn it on and then I hear beep bing, beep bing, beep bing. So I look up and I'm like, God, let's be serious for a minute, okay? Alright? Are you messing with me or something? Because this is a brand new camera and there's no real explanation as to why it shouldn't be working. I mean, are you trying to tell me something? In the back of my head, I kind of already know the answer to the question I'm asking, but then I'm like, alright, you know what? This girl is really hot, alright? So if this camera works tomorrow, I'm just going to go ahead and hook up with her and tape it and be done with it. But if for whatever reason you don't want it to work or it doesn't work tomorrow and you're that serious about this whole no sex till marriage thing, then I won't do it. Now at the time I wasn't 100% sure whether this was a sign from God or not, but at this point he had my attention. So I turn the camera off and then I turn it back on and it works perfectly. So I'm like, okay, phew. I record a few things on tape just to make sure that it works, and it does. And then the magical day finally arrives. I wake up, I'm home alone, I head straight for my camera, and then Bernard's like, did it work? I pick up the camera, turn it on, beep beam, beep beam, beep beam, beep beam. Bernard's like, no way, bro. I say, yeah man, the thing did not work. It just spit the tape right out as soon as I turned it on. So I look at the clock and it's 9:50, so I have a few minutes before she comes over. I take it apart really quickly, put it back together, turn it on, beep beam, beep beam, beep beam. So I go to take it apart again and then my phone rings. I pick it up and it's my prom date and she's like, I'm just calling to let you know I'm on my way. And I'm like, well, there's this slight problem. My camera kinda isn't working. And she's like, that's okay, we don't have to tape it. But I'm like, yeah, I know, but I just really think that, you know, we should kind of maybe try to wait till Thursday and try again maybe. And she's like, I guess, I mean, taping it isn't really all that important, but if you really want to wait till Thursday. I'm like, yeah, I think it'd be best. So we hang up, and I'm looking at this camera now like, this is a sign. You know how when you're driving down the road and you see the sign that says something like LA 2 miles ahead, you know, the sign isn't the destination. It just points to something outside and beyond itself that's in your direct path. And at this time in my life, when I was looking at this camera, that sign was both good and bad. So I put it back together and I don't touch it for the rest of Tuesday. Wednesday comes along, and during the day, again, I don't touch the camera at all, I don't check it at all, nothing. Wednesday night comes along, I go to the camera, I turn it on, and it works perfectly. So I turn it off, you know, I get a little pillow for it, I put it on top of the pillow, you know, get a little drink, and put a little straw in the drink, and a little umbrella, just to, you know, pamper it a little bit, and I let it stay like that overnight. So my prom date calls that night and she's like, okay, are we still good for tomorrow? And I'm like, oh yep, We're good. All systems go. We are ready for launch. Lights, camera, just waiting for the action. Let's make it happen. I'll see you at 11. And then, Judgment Day. I wake up. I slowly make my way over to the camera. I pick it up slowly and gently like it was that artifact at the beginning of that one Indiana Jones movie. I turn it on. Beep-beam, 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 beep-beam. I was like, no, God, no. I take it, I smack it, I tap it, I blow in it, I shake it. I'm going crazy at this point. I turn it back on. Beep-beam, beep-beam, beep-beam. I look at the clock, it's 9:30. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out right now. I take it apart again, I put it back together. Beep-beam, beep-beam, beep-beam. It was the worst I had ever seen it. Like, this thing was going ballistic. I look at the clock again. Now it's 9:50. A wave of acceptance just washed over me. And I sat there and I knew what I had to do. I picked up the phone. I called my prom date. She picks up the phone and she says, I was just getting ready to hop in the shower and then come over. And I sit there and I'm just like, actually, it'd probably be best if you didn't come over. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, well, you know, we just really shouldn't. And she's like, if you're worried about me having a copy of the tape, then I don't need one. You can just, if you want to tape it, you can tape it and keep a copy, but I don't need one if that's what this is all about. And I'm like, no, it's not that, you know. She's like, what, is the camera not working or something? And I go, yeah, you know, yeah, it's not working, but, you know, I thought about it a little bit, and we probably shouldn't do this. I'm sorry, you know, it's just, I'm gonna try to do this whole Christian thing, and it just, you know, it's just, I can't. And she goes, I'm a Christian too. It's not a big deal. Just let me come over. And I'm like, yeah, you know, but they make it pretty clear, you know, God doesn't want us doing this outside of marriage. And, you know, I always say I love God and stuff, but I never really show it with my actions. It's right here we start to go through a few moments of that awkward phone silence. And then we start talking back and forth a few more times. And she's like, are you absolutely positive you don't want me to come over there? And I say, you know, I'm really sorry for dragging you along with all this. It wasn't my intentions, you know. It's not that I'm getting cold feet or anything like that. I just think it'd be best if you didn't come over. And then, you know, we just hung up. Then Bernard says, and you guys never did it. And I'm like, nope. And then he says, bro, God has never interrupted or done anything like that to me, because my first time was like, done. I used to want to wait till marriage too, but, you know, the damage has kind of already been done. I told him, yeah, you know what, bro, I've done a lot of thinking about this, and I've put myself in your situation. And, you know, the thought that I finally came to was, just because we've done something doesn't mean we have to keep doing it. So then Bernard says, well, you know what, bro? God will still love you even if you're having sex outside of marriage. And I respond, yeah, you know what? But I've thought about that a lot too. And, you know, I look at it as I have a child who's being willfully disobedient. You know, you still love them, wouldn't you? But, you know, same thing with a good parent. The harder you try to please that parent, the harder they'll in turn try to please you. And it's pretty safe to guess that God works in a similar fashion. And Bernard is quiet for a second, and then he says, bro, I gotta shake your hand. So he reaches his hand out, and I shake it, and then I'm like, why do you have to shake my hand? He said, because you know what? I believe in you, man. You're gonna wait until you're married, and then on your honeymoon night, you're gonna be like, and rip your wife in half. And then you'll be in the newspaper, and it's gonna say really big at the top, first man to ever rip woman in half with bare hands. And I'm going to tell everybody I know the next day, Yeah, bro. I totally shook that guy's hand. Be in the same room with him and they're sitting there doing nothing, but you just see them and you're just like, ugh. When I was 17 working at Disney, that guy's name was Steven. I'm a very easygoing person. It takes a lot to get under my skin. And I'm not hating. My hood would never let me be a hater. But I'm sure at some point you've met someone who constantly tries to one-up you. I'd be standing at greeter spot at Indiana Jones. Guests would come up to me like,
where's the nearest loo?
Yes, if I could just draw your attention to my perfectly sculpted two-fingered Disney point, walk down that way and go immediately to the left. By the way, awesome Toy Story costume. High five.
Oh! No high fives! Officer Woody, I've been shot in the kneecap. Please help me. No! Andy's coming! Get down! Get down! Get down! Play dead! Shh! Shh! Lay down! Shh! Is he gone? Is he gone? Okay. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it over here. But did you guys need to go to the bathroom? Come with me. I'll take you the secret passageway that Andy won't find us. Shh! 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 No, it's okay. It's okay. My coworkers don't care if I take myself out of rotation. Let's go. This way. Oh! Andy's coming! Everybody down!
My managers will see this.
Oh my goodness, Steven is so amazing. Look at him. He's so good with the guests and he's so awesome with the... Andante, why can't you be more like Steven? I'm gonna put this in your personal file that we had this talk. Next time, it's a write-up.
Even with him constantly one-upping me, I still loved Steven. My hood would never let me be a hater. You know I'd be hugging the block, son, GPS me. But then I noticed something that really started to annoy me. Steven was obsessed with Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now that's not the part that annoyed me. Every time I came into work, this is what I hear.
Lips! Who wants to color Quasimodo's lips?
What Steven would do, as soon as he gets tired of standing, he would bring in chalk and start drawing Quasimodo all over the sidewalk. And then all the kids would join in and color with him. This ain't an episode of DuckTales. You can't just go off on an adventure whenever you feel like it. You're here to work.
Lips! Who wants to color Quasimodo's lips?
I realized the real motive behind this. He was just being lazy. I could draw too. Now don't let me try to do something like that. If I were to take one step away from greeter spot to go draw something, Andale, or however you say your stupid name, what do you think you're doing? We already had a talk about this. I'm writing you up right now. And like I said, I'm a very easygoing guy. I love everybody. My hood would never let me be no hater. But Steven, let me tell you what would make me annoyed with him even more, was every time I had to hear about why he has his coloring book and the receipt for it.
Do you see this coloring book that I'm sketching all my drawings out of? Security stops me to see if I stole this, and I have to show my receipt. And I take this coloring book with me to House of Blues, and I'll be in the middle of the dance floor. I'll be twerking. Security come up, and I'll be like, I paid for this. Here's my receipt. Why you all up in my business? Shorty want a thug. Bottles in the club.
And he would always make the kids think that they had some kind of a choice when they sat down to draw with.
Little girl, we could draw anything you want to draw. Who's your favorite Disney princess? Ooh, Ariel. Ew, girl. Ariel has fleas. Name somebody else. Anybody. Cinderella. Ugh, not girl. Cinderella is so thirsty. You don't want to draw her. Let's draw. Let me think. Oh, Esmeralda. No. Quasimodo. Let's draw Quasimodo. I'll let you color in his lips. Lips. Who wants to color the lips?
I decided to spice things up. See that guy over there with the chalk? He loves Aladdin. Go over there and tell him you want to draw Aladdin and don't take no for an answer. I would send hundreds of kids over and he would come by like, oh,
if I hear one more person ask me to draw Aladdin, I'm gonna go crazy.
And I thought, you know what? I would love to see that. And at this point, I had already decided I was gonna self-term. Here was my plan. I was gonna one-up the one-upper. I was gonna come in like 20 minutes before his shift, use his chalk, go outside before my shift starts, and draw a huge mural of Aladdin's face. So I kind of found where they kept the chalk, and they kept it in the manager's desk. Now don't even worry about what I was doing at the manager's desk. That's not important. I go into work. Look in the manager's desk, no chalk. I look on the schedule, no Steven. I go out to greeter spot. Is Steven working today?
No. He transferred over to Magic Kingdom.
And you guys know that scene in Star Wars where Darth Maul kills Qui-Gon? And Obi-Wan's like, no! That was me. And Steven, even though you went and laid down the shade and drew with the kids anytime there was any real work to be done, you know what, bro? I still love you because I'm not a hater. But you have no idea how badly I wanted to see your face when you walked around the corner and have Aladdin art everywhere. And as soon as I saw you, I would have screamed out, lips! Who wants to color Aladdin's lips? Think about your favorite place you've ever worked. For me, still Disney. And I don't know if it was my love for Disney or if I just love to get out the house. If you've ever had overprotective parents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When I first got my car, my mom was calling me every 2.5 seconds.
Where are you? I just looked in your room. And you're not here.
Mom, it's 9 in the morning. I'm at school. And every time you leave the house, you feel like you're Michael Scofield for a few hours, breaking out of jail. So I never talked about this in my other Disney videos, but I actually remember the day I went in to apply. You start with a phone interview, and if you do good on the phone interview, they bring you in for the hard stuff, the personality test. I had a friend, William, who worked custodial at Magic Kingdom, so he helped coach me on how to take the test. All I know is I wanted to work with something in food, because all I remembered from every time I've ever went to Disney ever was how amazing the food smelled. And I also very clearly remember my parents never buying me food ever at Disney. We're at Disney for 8 hours and I'm like, Dad, I'm hungry, please.
The food is too expensive here.
When we'd walk past restaurants, I had to use every ounce of willpower not to crawl over to other families and be like, are you guys done with that chicken? So I just assumed if I worked in food and beverage, I'm gonna get free food. So I know it sounds a little crazy, but my goal was to be that guy at that kiosk selling the Mickey Mouse ice cream bars. So I go in, I smash that personality test. Congratulations, you're hired. Which park do you want to work at? Studios. Okay, well, here are all the available positions at Studios. Okay, so if you select food and beverage, you'll be handling money, and you gotta take a math test. I get this math test. I haven't seen questions this easy since the 4th grade. Addition, subtraction, multiplication. I give it back to her. You failed. Do you want to pick maybe another position? I know that if y'all took a basic math test that you know you passed and you failed, you would feel some type of way too. Instantly kicked into thug mode. Talk to me nice, or don't talk at all. I stay hugging the block. Lady, is you disrespecting my gangster right now? Acts about me. Man, give me that test. In my head, that's how I sounded, but maybe in reality it came out something like, oh no, that is not okily dokily. May I retake it, please? Take the test again, give it back to her. You failed. You sure you don't want to do, I don't know, anything else? So I picked attractions, and that's how I ended up working at the Indiana Jones show. Something else that happens whenever I go to the park with my friends, a lot of people stop me and they tell me they applied for Disney because they saw the other videos. I'm gonna warn you right now, you gonna stand a lot. This is how they sneakily prepare you for this at orientation. They just say stuff like, while you're at work, don't lean. Here's the thing, I'm a gamer, and the standing position is my enemy. You remember in Lion King when Simba ran away and he was laying there in the desert about to die? That was me 10 minutes after I clocked in on my first day. I'm laying there, my lips are all chapped. Water. Also, smiling all the time at Disney as an employee is in the job description. I would do that. However, smiling when nobody's around, I'm not gonna do that. When people come around the corner and they're walking by, I'm gonna smile like, hey, hi, how you doing? Have a nice day. That's part of my job description. But when there's nobody around and it's me and you at greeter spot, I'm not gonna sit here like, I'm so happy. If somebody from my hood came to the park and saw me from a distance smiling for no reason, my hood card would get invalidated instantly. A lot of y'all don't know this, and I probably shouldn't reveal this in the video, but at this point it's whatever. We have secret black people meetings. It's like when Nick Cannon wore that leopard outfit to, I don't know, some MTV award show. My parents woke me up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Adonde, wake up! Emergency meeting right now! We're all here on Skype with the West Coast chapter, like they're trying to figure out what to do with this dude. And we all voted to take his black card and put him on a 30-day probation. This is a real thing, I'm not making this up. I can't be out here smiling for no reason. Full stop, I had a great experience working with the company. However, I feel like with my managers and my coworkers, there's a lot of stuff and a lot of situations that could have been handled differently. No tea, no shade. I was the perfect Disney cast member when I first got hired, but there's a lot of things that happened that kind of just pushed me to the dark side. Karens, and I don't mean guests and people coming into the park, I mean my coworkers. The first tiff I ran into at work was the second weekend after I got hired. But I do remember at training, the guy that trained me, his name was John. John said, blah, 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 stairs is all I remember. And I don't know how many of y'all know this, but every single Indiana Jones show sells out. His family comes up to me. Sir, we have nowhere to sit. May we just sit right here on the floor? Yeah, why not? Sure, you can sit right there. I put the family on the stairs, go to break, 15 minutes later, come back. So I'm chilling at greeter. Sarah walks up to me.
Okay, that's crazy. I caught this family sitting on the stairs, and they told me that you told them that they could sit on the stairs.
This grown woman really just brought an audience to disrespect my gangster right now? My inner gangster popped off. Yo, talk to me nice, or don't talk at all. I'll put you on citizen, right now. In reality, what I most likely said was, yeah, I let him sit on the stairs. Wow. Who said that you could do that? John told me I could do it.
Oh, John told you this? Well, let's go talk to him.
Sarah takes me and herself out of rotation, walk all the way over to Star Tours.
Where's John? Is John over in this section?
No. We leave Star Tours and she's going to like every attraction. She's over here like, no sleep, Star Tours, Toy Story Mania, tram, another tram, plane, Tokyo Disney, no sleep. We finally find John in another section of the park.
Tell John what you just told me.
We can let people sit on the stairs? No, we can't. No, I'd never told you that. John was looking at us like, why are y'all even here? You see what I mean? These are the kind of people I had to work with at my attraction every single day. But let me tell y'all who the real stars of Disney are. The guests. Y'all need Jesus. Do y'all know that there are guests out there who their life mission is to end up at Disney jail? I'm being dead serious. Google, look it up. How funny would it be if Disney jail was like a speakeasy private club, you know? There's a guy next to a soda machine, right? When you walk up to the guy, he's gonna be like, what's the password?
Misa, Mosca, Mickey Mouse.
You go behind the soda machine, you walk down a tunnel, you jump on a slide and you go to a bottom floor, and you first enter, there's a bunch of Disney characters. It's the Mickey Mouse jailhouse. Come inside, there's fun inside. And Mickey's over there like, everybody say, oh, Toodles! Toodles is over there sharpening his toothbrush, making a shank. That would also explain why we don't see any more Disney villains in the parks, because they're all in Disney jail and doing meet and greets. You're the photo pass guy taking your mugshot, and you know they got a food court down in there. And each prison cell has different themes. How funny would it be if at the end of your jail sentence, like Mickey's there to try to scare you straight, like they put you in that interrogation room? You think this is a game? You think this is a game? They leave, the next family comes in. Get that camera out of my face! You think this is a game? This is how we're gonna do things! Biggie! Mob Deep! Bad boy! I'm a self-made billionaire with a B! You know how much money I made during the pandemic? More than you'll make in your life! Why am I even down here talking to these clowns? Golly! I know this all sounds very outlandish, but this is the kind of stuff I would think about when I'm stuck at greeter spot, not smiling. Now, something happened to me a little while ago that I think I need to talk about. I'm checking my email. The first email I see is from a person named Jada. Look over at this picture, and this picture looks like if Beyonce and Adriana Lima had a love child. And she timed it perfectly, all right? It was the very first email at the top of my inbox. Right out the gate, this girl is just showering me with a jubilee of compliments. So I respond. Now, before I can get to the next email, she emails me back like, oh my God, I never thought I'd actually get your attention. Wow. Oh, by the way, I live in Orlando. And I'm like, I am about to marry you. So we start small talk over the next few days. Turns out this girl just moved from London to Orlando to work in photography. British accents and Australian accents are my kryptonite. We actually have a lot in common. The thing we talked about most was gaming. And this girl is a hardcore PlayStation fangirl. Like, I'm gonna chloroform and kidnap you so hard if we ever meet. Now, about a week and a half goes by, and then she messages me like, here's my number, feel free to text me whenever. By the way, this is my UK number, I haven't gotten around to getting an American phone yet. Alright, rule number one, I don't give out my number, okay? For all I know, you're some 38-year-old guy named Bob trying to catfish me, and I'm not trying to end up on MTV with Neve. Okay, sWooZie, are you ready to meet your girl? And Neve, I know you're watching. Don't even don't put down the phone, Neve. Put down the phone. But this voice in my head was like, you know what, bro? Sometimes you just gotta live on the edge. The other part of my brain is like, no, not a good idea. You know what? Full throttle, let's go. So then we take it over to texting, and we're texting for about another week and a half. And the other thing, and I forgot to mention this girl's a night owl. I get really social at 4 o'clock in the morning. If I text her at 4:30, she's gonna be up. And one night she's telling me this story, and she's like, you know what, can I just call you and tell you the rest of this story, because it's too much to text. This girl hits me up, and when I hear that accent for the first time, I was just happy that, okay, I'm not getting catfished. One night around 1 o'clock, there's this place in Orlando called Colombian Burger. Really good chicken sandwiches. They don't close until like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I hit her up. I'm like, hey, yo, what are you doing tonight? Nothing. Yo, well, I'm about to head over to Colombian Burger. Is you bout it? No, I can't make it. I got work in the morning. So I hang up, and I'm driving to Colombian Burger, and I'm working this out in my head. I'm like Batman, okay? I'm a detective. I can sense when something's wrong. Sometimes I just get this focus and I have like a fifth sense. I'm like, yo, pretty much every night that we stay up late talking, she has work the next day. So, note to self. So for the next few days, I don't really hit her up. I'm just thinking to myself like, yo, it is kind of weird that she's been over in Orlando for a few months and she still has a London number as her only phone and she doesn't have Skype. So I start getting a little suspicious, and I think she picked up on that. I get a text on WhatsApp, and she's like, hey, I'm free on Friday night. You want to hang out? I'm like, all right, let's meet at Splitsville at 8 o'clock. So when Friday comes along, 5 o'clock, I start getting ready, like 3 hours early. I haven't been this genuinely excited for a date in so long. You know, I'm getting my chloroform ready, and I make sure I look good. I even jump on YouTube for some beauty tips, like I'm watching Michelle and Zoella and Mac Barbie. I even exfoliated. I leave my house, get to downtown Disney, I park, and I get a text from her on WhatsApp, and she goes, hey, I'm gonna be a little late. I'm a girl. I'm doing my hair right now. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought it would. Get to Splitsville, walk up to the register, and I tell the lady, I'm like, oh, can I pay for me and my date right now? A lot of my female friends don't like me paying for their stuff, so I don't want there to be any argument when she gets here. Pay for everything up front, and then the girl goes, wait a second, you look familiar. Are you sWooZie? Yeah. Oh my God, sWooZie! We talk for a few seconds, and then I go sit at the bench next to the entrance. Now there's another greeter desk where there's some more girls standing that work at Splitsville. And one of them walks over and they're like, are you sWooZie from YouTube? What are you doing here? I got a date, so I'm here waiting on her. So we chat, she goes back, it's like, see guys, I told you it was sWooZie. So about 30 minutes goes by, Jada hasn't showed up. So I text her like, hey, are you on the way? Everything's cool? No response. And then, guess what happens next? You hear that? You heard that, right? You didn't hear anything. That's what happens next. Nothing. I waited there for hours. So you can imagine how embarrassing it is that whole time with all the employees sitting there whispering to each other, I exfoliated for this? And then that walk up to ask for my money back? It's moments like this that I wish that memory erasing wand from Men in Black was actually real. And okay, everybody just gather around, look right here. Bing! Because y'all, this was so embarrassing. So that drive home, I'm just like, oh, I cannot wait to hear this excuse. I exfoliated for this. Around 1 a.m., I get a text. Oh my God, I am so sorry. Oh my God. So I just simply say, is everything okay? This is her response. Erg, my friends are so erg. That's your excuse? Some of my girlfriends came to my house. There was this big fight. And yeah, it was just, I'm so sorry. It's just craziness. Really? Standing people up? That's what's hot in the streets right now? If you knew you had to be somewhere and you knew the dude that you was meeting was waiting for you, like was your friends MMA fighters or something? Like couldn't even pick up a phone and say, I'm gonna have to cancel, something came up. You don't have Skype. You have a UK phone number. It's all I don't even think you're in Orlando. I'm in Orlando. Okay, you know what? Let's make this real simple. Meet me right now. I can't. As I'm texting her, my phone suddenly starts ringing. I look at the caller ID, and it's Neve. He's like, ha ha, gotcha.
Gotcha, sucker! Catfish season 4.
So 2 days later, I just happened to pass by a TV in my house, and there's this X-Out commercial playing, and guess who I see on the screen? Jada. But the name on the screen says Tanashi or Tinashe. And this Tinashe girl, she didn't have a British accent. Governor. So I googled Tinashe, and apparently she's some up-and-coming singer. And this Jada person stole all of her pictures and made a profile out of it. Fake Facebook profiles? Really? That's what's hot in the streets right now? And Jada, if you're watching, I don't ever wish bad on anyone, but I casted a plague on you. So if things haven't been going your way lately, that's why. Jane's house. I knock on the door and her mom lets me in. Now to get to Jane's bedroom, you have to walk down this very long hallway. So I walk down the hallway and I get in her room, and Jane and Pam are off in the corner, and they see me enter, but they don't say anything to me. They're just mumbling something to each other and whispering like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on. I just figure it's inside girly joke stuff. I don't even know. So I sit down, take out my phone, and call Warren. It rings, he picks up, and I'm like, hey dude, where you at? You know, I just got to Jane's house. I was just wondering how much longer till you get here. He's like, oh, you just got there? Okay, no problem. I'll be there in a minute. So I hang up the phone, and then I look up, and then Jane is standing right there in front of me, and she has this very sinister, kind of evil look on her face, but it's a girly sinister, like I'm up to no good kind of look. She leans over, and she closes her door and locks it. And I'm thinking, okay. And then she puts her hand on my chest and slowly pushes me back onto the bed. And she grabs my two hands and puts them above my head. Pam quickly grabs them and she ties them up. I don't even know if she's using a sock or what. It felt like a sock, but I couldn't really see. I'm looking up and I'm like, okay, my hands are being tied. Again, this is all true, guys. It happened this fast and this random, like totally out of the blue. Like no words were exchanged even at this point. So now Jane takes the bottom of my shirt and then like lifts it up over my head while my hands are tied, and she exposes my chest, you know, like my massive muscles go bulging everywhere. That's probably a good, you know, depiction of it. So then Jane gets up and she opens the door, leaves the room and closes the door behind her. And then I can hear Pam now walking around the room, and she says to me, listen, Adonde, if you just don't struggle and don't make any noise, this will be a lot more fun for all of us. And I'm thinking to myself, what is that supposed to mean? Like, what are y'all about to do? So then I hear the door open and close, and I'm guessing Jane is back in the room now because I can't see anything. So then I just hear like a lot of whispering and murmuring, like, you know, they're just giggling and whispering, and I'm just like, what are they doing? And then suddenly I hear a beep. And I'm like, whoa, 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 are y'all recording this? And they don't answer, they just giggle so much, like, they just keep giggling. I was gonna start putting up a little bit of a struggle, but then I thought, you know what? The shirt is over my face, so they can't really see who I am if they are recording this, but whatever. Then I hear Pam walk around to the side of the bed where my hands are, and then Jane lays on the bed beside me. So then there's this awkward silence for a little bit, and then suddenly I feel something that's hot and cold at the same time, wet. She starts rubbing ice all over my chest. As soon as I felt it on my chest, like I jumped and I was like, ah! And I started like squirming and making noise. And then Pam quickly covers, like she puts her hand over where my mouth is. So now I'm just like, ooh, 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 doing a lot of that, while Jane starts to rub this ice on my chest. And right now I'm feeling like Neo in Matrix 1 when the agents like are pinning him down and, you know, he's trying to squirm and his mouth is sealed shut and they're putting that little worm, you know, alien baby in his stomach. That's what I'm feeling like right now. Pam is holding me down, covering my mouth. Jane is like, you know, doing her whole, like, I think she's writing the alphabet on my chest with ice. And then she kind of stops. And then I'm just like, okay, now what is going on? And then next thing I know, she busts out with 2 blocks of ice, 1 in each hand, and then starts going up and down the sides of my body. And that did not feel too pleasant, let me tell you guys right now, okay? So then I'm starting with the making noise all over again, and then, you know, Pam still has her hand over my mouth, so I'm like, you know, I'm doing all that action. So then she starts rubbing it in circles around my belly button, and then I feel her fingertips with her other hand kind of start to creep around the top of my boxers, and I'm like, I know this girl is not about to go into the no-no zone with that ice. I know this. And sure enough, she starts to lift the boxers, and then I hear, and her mom opens the door and starts with, "Hey Jane, Warren's hit." And she looks up, and if there was ever a moment in this whole scenario, she happened to walk in on the most incriminating image. Like, if you were to take a still frame out of this whole scenario, and it'd be the worst possible one you could take a mental image of, this was the first image she saw soon as she opened the door. With Jane holding my boxers up, ice in hand, very obvious what you're about to do, shirt over my face. My muscles were bulging all over the place, and they were glistening from all that ice, so there was like glistening muscles everywhere. And then here's Pam holding my hand and videotaping this. And you know, sometimes when somebody walks in on you and you're busted, your reaction is just to like quickly reset and then act like you're not doing anything. No, that didn't happen here. They absolutely froze, because apparently Jane forgot to relock the door when she came back in. And basically her mom was coming in to tell everybody that Warren is here. So now Warren and Jane's mom are standing in the doorway. Warren comes in and he's just like, did I come in at a bad time? And you think the girls would have helped me get untied or would have taken the shirt off from about my head? No. It all gets very gray right here, because in my head, I'm just like, crap, mom walked in, saw all this going on. I'm probably going to end up being the bad guy at some point here. I'm going to be the one that's going to get blamed for this somehow, even though I'm the victim. And believe it or not, for the next few weeks, even actually the next few months, anytime Jane or Pam saw me, they would always refer to me as Ice Boy. And they would always do it when my other friends were around or when their friends were around. So they'd say, "Hey, Ice Boy, what's up?" And naturally, people are gonna wonder, why are you calling him Ice Boy? And they'd be like, "No reason." Yeah. Now, I never did see for sure whether or not Pam was videotaping this whole thing, but I just hope the Ice Boy video, if there is one in existence, never makes its way to YouTube or the internet. So at my last job, I was a lifeguard at the Hard Rock Hotel. One morning at like 8 a.m., I go in and the pool is dead.
I love opening shifts because when the pool is dead, I just take a nap.
So I'm watching the water and this lady comes up to me and she goes,
Excuse me, young man. What's the quickest way to Oh my God! You are so handsome.
Another family comes out and they go to the other side of the pool, and the dad and the daughter in this family jump in the water. Wow, okay, I'm sorry to be this forward, but oh my God, you are so handsome.
Anytime anybody comes to the guard stand and tries to talk to me, I keep looking at the water. I keep scanning, but I just talk to them without making eye contact.
This lady's getting ready for cuffing season because she is just showering me with compliments, and I take my eyes off the water for the first time ever to talk to somebody. Your jawline. Are your parents models? Your lips, oh my God, and your eyes.
And see, that's when I was like, girl, bye. I have black eyes. Okay, you had me going until you started talking about my eyes.
Then she looks away from me and looks at the pool and she goes, oh, that guy over there, he doesn't look too hot. So I look up at the dad and there's a few warning signs that something was wrong. He wasn't moving, he was face down, and he was blue. I'm like, is this dude dead? Steve Harvey runs out, survey says? Any lifeguard will tell you, kids come out to the pool and do the dead man float every day. How does a 5'9" man drown in a 4-foot pool? Explain it. I'm sitting here looking at this dude like, any second now, buddy. You could just stand up, joke's over. Then the lady goes, I gotta go, bye. The mom, daughter, and son are standing there looking at me like, hello, do something, bro. Michelle is the other lifeguard on duty. She's walking around roaming. She sees this. She walks over. The daughter kind of pushes her lifeless dad's body to the edge of the pool, and Michelle pulls him out, coming up out the water looking like Jinx with them big old lips. 30 minutes later, the paramedics come out. They go back to the ambulance, come back with a stretcher. At this point, he starts moving a little bit. The paramedics are looking at me on the guard stand like, wow. He was up there the whole time? The Grim Reaper shows up and he's helping the paramedics carry the dad back to the ambulance. Jen, my supervisor, shows up and she freaks out. She runs over, talks to Michelle, then runs over to me and she was like,
What happened?
obviously you're not doing a good job supervising me, because look at this. Look at what you did. My office, now. So apparently what happened is the dad and the daughter were underwater trying to see who could hold their breath longest. And the daughter came up and the dad never did. So when the paramedics got there, they said he dry drowned. I went home and looked up dry drowning. I still don't know what it means. I'll leave you guys with this. Splitting your attention, like when you're driving, giving your phone 40% and the road 60%, 60% is still a F. You go through life giving anything 60, 50%, still a F. So if you're gonna do something, give it 100, especially when you're a lifeguard. Alright, in my lifetime, I've had the pleasure of meeting a handful of celebrities, and I've never really told you guys the stories behind how I've met these people until now. Today, I'm going to tell you guys how I met Kim Kardashian. It was summer of 2008, and the Championship Gaming Series flew me from Florida out to LA for the summer to do some on-camera work for Mountain Dew and the CGS.com. One day in the middle of July, my roommates came to me and they were like, hey, there's this red carpet party going on this week. We don't know if you've heard about it, but we've heard Lindsay Lohan will be there. Maybe that one chick from the Pussycat Dolls. And it's also rumored that Kim Kardashian's going to be at this party too. So I instantly start to think, okay, I've been to parties before where they say so-and-so famous person is going to show up, but it never happens. I could see Lindsay Lohan showing up, but Kim Kardashian, I really can't see that happening. So the day of the party comes, me, Dr. Dog, and Weenus, we all get ready, and Dr. Dog drives us down to the set where the party's going to be held. At the door, there's these two really ridiculously big black guys in suits and earpieces, so now I'm starting to think, okay, there might actually be some celebrities here already. And these two guys are giving me the look like, don't even try to get in here. So one of my female contacts that works with DirecTV, she walks out. She runs over and she's like, thank God you're here. Okay, has anybody told you what you're doing tonight? And I'm like, no, I think I'm doing something with the CGS.com, but nobody's giving me specifics yet. And she's like, okay, Brody Jenner from the Hills is going to be here soon, and when he gets here, you're going to train him on how to play DOA, and then you're going to be his on-stage GM, because he's going to have to play Vanessa on the main stage. And before I can even respond, Jim, the director of the CGS.com, he runs over and he's like, sWooZie, okay, good, you're here. We have you working the red carpet tonight. And then my girl with DirecTV, she's like, we actually have him already training Brody Jenner for the match that he's playing tonight against Vanessa. So then Jim goes, okay, well, you can have him as soon as we're done with him on the red carpet. So Jim gets me past the guys at the door and puts me right there on the red carpet. I meet up with Hogan and a cameraman, and Hogan hands me a mic, and he's like, sWooZ, have you ever worked red carpet before? And I'm like, no. So he says, dude, okay, when the big stars get here, you're going to have to be super aggressive in order to get an interview. Just letting you know that right now. So there's a bunch of media people already on the red carpet. To the immediate left, there's PwnOrDie.com's crew, and to the immediate right, it's ABC.com, and I have Hogan and the cameraman right behind me. So I lean over to Hogan and I'm like, I heard Kim Kardashian's gonna be here. He's like, bro, if Kim Kardashian shows up, you're gonna have to be really aggressive to get her to stop. So I look up and people start to come down the red carpet. Upcoming Disney stars and then random people from TV shows. So then Brody Jenner shows up and people are taking pictures like crazy. So he starts to make his way down the line of media, and then he finally gets to me and we start our interview. He answers all the questions and then he goes, yeah, I actually think they have me playing on the big stage tonight. I told him, actually, I'll be back there in a minute to help you boot camp for your quick cram session before you go up on stage. Now, before he even responds to that, I start hearing a lot of commotion going on. And I look up, and Kim Kardashian is standing about 20 feet away from me. So at that point, I was just like, okay, Brody, you're awesome, bye-bye. So then Hogan starts tapping me on the shoulder. He's like, Kim Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, dude, you have to get her over here. And it is utter pandemonium. It looks like, you know, a club scene now with all the cameras going off so fast. So everybody's yelling her name, Kim, 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 trying to get her to look in their direction. And she's standing next to some guy. And I lean over to Hogan and I'm like, yo, who's that guy she's standing with? And Hogan goes, you don't know who that is? That's Reggie Bush, dude. He's a football player. So I go, dude, I don't really watch sports. Is that her boyfriend or something? And he's like, yeah, they're dating. So as Hogan answers, Kim looks over in my direction, and she has a smile on her face, but as soon as we make eye contact, she stops, and she just stares for a second. And I'm thinking, wait, is this girl staring at me? And her eyes kind of squint. She's giving me this look like, you know, she's about to lick her lips or something. And it hits me. Wait a second. This girl has a thing for black guys. She used to date Nick Cannon and Ray J, and I'm standing here in my little blazer rocking my little Mario necklace, and she's probably thinking I'm like the perfect hybrid blend of all these guys mixed into one. And all this runs through my head really fast, and I notice this girl's still staring at me, but now she's looking at me like I'm a piece of steak. Now I'm getting a little worried because her big football player BF is right next to her. I'm hoping he doesn't see any of this because I'm just not trying to hurt anybody, you know. I don't want him to try to attack me and I accidentally put him in the hospital trying to defend myself, you know. I'm just joking, Reggie. You're a cool guy. I love you, man. You're awesome. Please don't beat me up. But anyway, so Kim looks away, and then she goes to the first media person at the head of the media line at the red carpet. And Reggie's with her at first, but then he breaks away and starts jumping around to random media people and just doing random interviews. So at this point, I notice Kim is only answering about 1 or 2 questions from each media person. And she gets down to Pwn or Die, who is right next to me, really, really fast. So right now, all the media people are pushing and trying to get close to Kim, and she's answering Pwn or Die's questions. And as she's answering, she keeps looking at me in the corner of her eye and smiling. And I'm just like, is this for real? Is this girl looking at me? So then Hogan goes, get ready, man. You're going to have to grab her. So she answers a few more questions at Pwn or Die, and then she steps over to me and stops. So we're looking at each other, and I put on my GQ swagger, you know. I deepen my voice just a little bit, and I'm just like, you have time for a quick little interview, Miss Kardashian? And she smiles, and she's like, sure. As we're talking, I notice a bunch of little hands poking in from every corner really slowly with tape recorders recording our interview. So I ask her, so what games are you mashing on right now? And she's like, oh, I love Rock Band. I get my family together and I get my friends and we play Rock Band and I like playing the guitar and I play the drums, but I've always been a gamer. And I'm like, you've always been a gamer? And she's like, yeah. I tell her, you know, I'm sorry, but I find it really hard to believe that you've always been a gamer. What is the first game that you picked up? She's like, Legend of Zelda on the NES, come on, man. And when she said that, I almost dropped to one knee. But she has a man, so I kept it respectful. I did, however, say something that I won't repeat here because it's a line I like to use from time to time whenever a girl really impresses me. And I don't want other girls to know just what that line is. But when I said it, she laughed and she stroked my arm. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're so hilarious. This girl just stroked my arm? Coincidentally, right after she stroked my arm, one of the media people took a picture. Look at that. That's my head really big to the left of the frame right there. But look at the intensity on this girl's face. Okay? Look at how happy she is. So Kim and I talked for a little bit longer. You know, it was pretty obvious that she spent most of her time giving her interviews with me. I thanked her for her time, and she started making her way down the media line. So then a few more celebrities showed up. I got some more interviews, you know, Bobby Brown, Macy Gray, Robin Haley from Coin Op TV. You know, there's a bunch of celebrities there. Hogan was like, all right, man, I think you're all done. That's all we need. So my girl from DirecTV runs up to me, and she was like, get backstage right now. They're about to call Brody up onto the main stage for his game. So I run backstage, and Master and Vanessa are already there. And then Brody's there, and then Jordan Farmar, I don't know how you say his name. The guy from the Lakers, he's there. Reggie Bush is there too. And I walk over next to Brody and I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry I couldn't get back here in time to help you practice, but I'm here now. And Brody goes, actually, I think they have me playing the racing game now. You're going to go out there with Jordan. And I look over at Jordan and I'm like, all right, man, well, don't worry. I'll try to coach you up on the main stage to hopefully try to at least get one round against Vanessa, hopefully. So I turn around and suddenly Kim Kardashian is standing there right next to me. She just pops up out of nowhere. And I'm thinking to myself, now this would be a perfect time to keep talking to her, but you know what, she's got a man, and even though it'd just be friendly conversation, I'm just, you know what, I'll just let it go. But I look back up at Master and Vanessa, and they both look like they're right out of a manga or an anime with their expressions. Master's looking at me like, dude, you're standing next to Kim Kardashian. And Vanessa just has this look on her face like, this is so much fun, and look at you standing next to her, you guys. This is just too cute to watch. She doesn't even say anything, but that look on her face says it all. So, I look away from them because they're not helping the situation. So I turn to Brody and I start talking to him. I'm like, bro, you know what's funny? I was randomly just on your MySpace for no reason 2 days ago, and now we're backstage together. So me and Brody start talking about MySpace for a little bit, and then I get a text message. So I pull out my phone, and then Kim goes, is that the new 3G iPhone? I'm like, yes, ma'am. I just kind of move it in front of her so she can see what it looks like. And she's like, oh, cool. Then I put it back in my pocket. And then she taps me on the shoulder, and she's like, hey, what time is it? I take my phone out, and then I look at it, and I'm like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. And she's like, thanks. And I put the phone back in my pocket, and then I realize a number of girls in the past have used that same question as a conversation starter. But again, given the situation, I'll just speak when I'm spoken to. So DJ, we called her name on the loudspeaker a few minutes later, and she walked out on the stage and she played Forza, and that was the last time I saw her. But now I think there's a bit of a problem, because whenever I'm home or just watching TV and Kim Kardashian pops up on the screen, from time to time she does what I like to call the sWooZie steak stare, where she looks at the camera the same way she looked at me that night on the red carpet. A lot of y'all are aware of Disney adults. We're not here to talk about that. We're gonna talk about the next evolution. Disney gangs. If you're gonna be in my gang, you gotta talk the talk, okay? Can't call it 7-Eleven anymore. From henceforth, it's now Sam Lamb. And I just realized that some of y'all have no idea what I'm talking about, so we're gonna drop a pin in this and come back to it in about 30 seconds. Watch this clip first.
What's the Disney gang thing?
If you're ever at the Disney parks and you see people in 90-degree weather with a leather jacket, that's gangs. There's initiations. You're one of Andy's toys now. We're in the Toy Story gang, okay? Your initiation is go over to Haunted Mansion and steal the Q rope and bring it back here. And if you do that, you're in the gang.
What?
They don't do that kind of stuff anymore, because if you go up in the parks acting rowdy, you will get banned. Side note, Universal and Disney security is state-of-the-art. They have fingerprint and facial recognition, okay? You're under surveillance from the time you pull into the parking lot. I'm in Disneyland in California. Guy comes up to me, asks for a picture. We take the picture, he's walking away, and I'm like, bro, I like how you and your whole squad are in matching jackets. And he goes, I'm in a gang, twin. You mean like Mickey Mouse Club gang? Yeah, and I'm the president. And then he tells me about some of the inner workings of how these gangs operate. Disneyland in California is the only Disney that has gangs. I don't know if y'all know this, but GTA 6 is based in Florida. Of all the times Florida needs to be quiet, now is not that time. How the gangs work is you claim an area or a land, and then you come up with a name for your gang. If I were to start a gang, hypothetically, I would claim Nintendo World. I used to work at studios, so you know what? I'm claiming 2 hoods. Nintendo and Galaxy's Edge. Hypothetically, those would be my turfs. My gang at studios would be called Sons of Anakin, and my gang at Nintendo would be called Smash Bros. F with me. Okay, so for my gang, we're in the trenches, all right? This is real street stuff. You wanna be in it? Good, I'm glad you asked. So if the West Coast is doing initiations like stealing the rope from the queue, you know what I would do for my gang? We're dropping you off in the real hood, wearing rival gang colors. I need some directions. My friends are doing this initiation for a club, and I just need to... Oh, my bag? What's in it? I don't know, it's a good question, let me see. Unopened MacBook Pro. A Switch too? I didn't even know these were out yet. Once you make it past initiation and you're in the gang, you gotta stay strapped up. You're in a gang now. You gotta look out for the ops. You've gotta keep a Nerf gun on you at all times. Hey, Hey bro, you remember them fools that skipped us in line at Velocicoaster? They're at the Sam Lam on Silver Star, bro. Where you at? You all the way over there on Kirkman, car? I'm finna spin the block and roll back up. Hurry up. Hold on, no, they finna dip. Hold up. Hey, partner. Heard y'all don't like to wait before you get in the dinosaur paddock. Say hello to John Hammond when you see him, player. Whole lot of gang stuff. Cause when junk gets sticky, you need that blicky. Oh yeah, you could die too. So if the ops roll up on you and hit you with a Nerf gun, you're out the game. So if you're walking through Animal Kingdom and you see your friends and you're like, hi guys, remember me? No, there's gonna be a fake funeral for you. You're done. Can somebody make a gang at Haunted Mansion for all the fallen homies? Matter of fact, we're gonna need 2 just so you have some options. Somebody make a gang at Monsters Land. If you get hit with a Nerf gun, you have to be one of those gangs if you still wanna be affiliated. That's it. And I'm gonna warn y'all right now, Florida folk are a little bit crazier than LA folk. Law enforcement, shout out to law enforcement, they know this. So once people start fake dying, you know what's coming next? Undercover cops. Hello, fellow homies. I noticed you are in a theme park gang. How can I be down to clown? Bro, you're one hundo P a cop. No, I am a CP from Flamingo West, I mean. Don't be so sussy baka. I'm skibbity gyat. So yes, if I made a gang and if you were in it, again, this is all hypothetical, you're gonna have to talk the talk. It's no longer 7-Eleven, it's Sam Lam. We're gonna have game nights, we'll play California Prison Uno, maybe some D&D, but at the end of the night, Ebonics classes. We in the bill. You know what I mean? All right, so the stragglers are probably gone by now, so if you're still watching, we're doing this. Here's the gang inner workings. Here's our mission. We're out here battling. Rock, paper, scissors. GTA mode activated. We don't just trade pins, we battle for them, baby, like Pokemon. This isn't pin traders, okay? That's soft. You can tell other active gang members by their pins. 2 pins, not lanyards, 2 pins. 1 from Disney, 1 from Universal. Since my gang is Nintendo, I got a Nintendo one on. If I repped Harry Potter, it'd be a Harry Potter gang. If I see somebody else with 2 pins on, game on, player. Let's say you're walking through the theme park. Let's say you're in line at Donkey Kong and you stroll past somebody who have 2 pins on. Now we go to level 2. You say to them, hey, I like your pins. If they're another member, they'll say back to you, I like that Velocicoaster pin, but it looks too heavy for you. My pin looks a little bit lighter. You wanna dance? 2 out of 3? 2 out of 3, let's go. Boom, it's on, baby. Loser gives up his pin. I'm in the Nintendo gang, so I'm trying to get a pin from Monsters Land, How to Train Your Dragon, Harry Potter. I want a pin from every hood that I'm not a part of. And you challenge somebody from each land until you collect all the pins. So it's kind of like drinking around the world in Epcot, but you don't have to spend $500 for this, and it's way more fun. So if you show up and you're gonna be battling, you probably wanna bring some extra pins. My friend has just informed me, like, what if they wanna be down, but they're not in a gang? I guess you can, listen, I can't come up with all the ideas, all right? You bring pins, wear 2 of them, be in your one-man gang, I guess. I don't know what to say. I wonder if there's some way we can get cast members and employees involved in this. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, okay? We're a trouble-free organization. We're not troublesome. Let's say you go to Velocicoaster and they have a pin on that's upside down. Maybe that's their little secret signal to you that they're down to battle. That might actually work out really good. Because let's say you want a pin from How to Train Your Dragon, you just go to that land and if you see an employee there with a pin upside down, you can battle. So if you challenge an employee or cast member and you lose, there's no salty rematches, you're done. GG, no re. I also hear that these other gangs on the West Coast have meetups. I don't got time for all that. However, every 3 months or so, Orlando Informer rents out both the Universal parks, and I hear a whisper on the streets that they're gonna be renting out Epic at some point. Just whispers. That'll be our meeting spot, okay? It is so much fun. Free food, free drinks, all the rides are pretty much walk-on. Tickets are like $250, but since you're in the gang now, you're getting a discount. Link's in the description. I'll be there, you see me, challenge me, you'll lose. Have my pin ready, okay? Next one's in June? Okay, and last order of business, let's have the first gang meeting right now. Let's talk about the Switch 2 situation. I mentioned this on my TikTok, we could talk about it here too. They just announced it, they want $450 for this system, $90 for the game, and $90 for the controller? If the graphics were so mind-blowing they had me convulsing on the floor, let's go, here, take my money. I'm still waiting on that Link versus the Spider y'all promised me in 2011. Announce that on Switch 2 and I'll pre-order now. It's giving toxic boyfriend or girlfriend who's doing stuff that's testing us to see if we'll stay. All right, I've caused enough mayhem for one video. Also, do we have any real ones in the audience? IYK.
Guys, because I'm not a cop. This is all to distract you from the fact that Hector is gonna be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines.
Once he starts talking like that, you know he's a narc, bro.
I mean, honestly, the rap game is dying. How'd this song even get on the radio? He's not even saying words, he's just like bit lifestyle. Like, really? Really? Oh, hold on, it's him.
I don't know why you're tripping over that boy. Didn't y'all get married in the sequel?
Yeah, that was a movie. We were acting. Me and Aladdin are both single.
Okay, what did he say?
LOL, sup, kiddo. Like, what does that even mean?
No, sorry. He just wants to be friends with benefits.
What?
Wait, hold on. Look who decided to grace us with her presence. Miss Popular herself, acting all brand new with her Celine bag. This is a no flex zone. She knows better. Like, Frozen was good, but it wasn't that good. You feel me? Oh, shh, hold up. She's coming.
Hey guys. Hey Anna.
So, Anna, there's this rumor going around that you bought all your Instagram followers. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, that's just a rumor. I think Cinderella started it.
Yeah. Well, you, have 1.9 million followers, but each of your pictures only gets around 10,000 likes, so...
Oh, hey, Rapunzel! 1 second, guys. Rapunzel, girl, what happened to you last night? Like, where did you go? Did you call an Uber?
Her eyebrows aren't even symmetrical in half of her pictures.
Hey, so what should I say back to Aladdin?
Okay, type exactly what I say.
Hey, can you check and see who's texting me?
It's Jasmine.
Oh, okay, what'd she say?
Just got out of class. Want to link up later? You want me to text her back?
No! Bro, do you know who you're talking to? I am Prince Ali Ababwa.
If I were you, I'd text her back now. Jasmine's high-key hot.
Hey, don't worry about it. I got gals in different locales, okay?
WT! It says he read it, but he's not typing anything.
Stop overanalyzing everything. It's not that serious.
I think he has a thing for thick girls now. I'm not even in his top friends on Snapchat anymore. It's Pocahontas, Esmeralda, and Black Widow. Maleficent, are you even listening to me?
Are you serious? Anna just uploaded a Kylie Jenner makeup tutorial on YouTube. Are you serious?
Can you stop talking about Anna for 5 seconds? You're obsessed with her.
No, I'm not. That girl is so irrelevant. Sebastian, come in. What's Anna doing? What's her 20?
Anna just walked into Club 33, man. She in VIP with his squad, nicing up the place.
Anna got the club going up? On a Tuesday? Okay. Keep an eye on her and don't lose her this time.
Hey, guys.
Mulan, hey, quick question. If you text a guy and he texts back saying, LOL, sup, kiddo, what does that mean?
Was there an X at the end of it? What about a winky face?
Nope.
Not even a woman in the red dress?
Nay.
Ugh, he's a player. He just wants to be friends with bennies. You should just move on now before you get hurt.
Retweet. That's what I said. These bros ain't loyal.
Hashtag princess problems.
Wait, hold on. What number is this? Hello? Who's this? Air traffic control. How'd you get this number? What? Listen, I will fly my magic carpet whenever I want, wherever. You trying to tell me I can't? My magic carpet is made out of Versace, okay? Versace. I got a pet monkey. Get in my tax bracket before you even open your mouth to talk to me. I am the Prince of Aqraba. You know what? I'm sorry. I lost my cool for a second. I was raised in the streets. My hood sometimes flares up. You're just doing your job. I'm sorry. You know what? You're right. I won't fly my magic carpet made out of Versace over the airport anymore. Okay. Yes. Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, so whatever happened with you and Belle?
gals in different locales, son. Actually, you know what? I haven't texted her in a while. Let me holler at her right quick.
It's Aladdin.
What'd he say?
He wants to know if I wanna...
If you want to hang out at Hollywood Studios, right?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Aladdin's a player, girl. Everybody knows. I saw him smooching with Tiana the other day.
Alright, what should I say back to him?
Woman! Don't you know how to play the game? If you text him back immediately, you'll look like you're thirsty. Text him back in like 3.5 days.
3 days? You text Sora from Kingdom Hearts like every 10 minutes.
Yeah, because I'm not into him like that. I'm into Flynn Rider. So I only text him twice a week. Watch, let me show you how this is done.
I mean, I'd like to join a Disney gang, but all they do is argue with other gangs on Twitter.
Or, even better than what you just said, we should go to Anaheim and start our own Disney gang and call it Andy's Toys. Oh, and check it out. And Toy Story Mania could be our turf. Tell me that's not gangsta.
So trill.
Wait, did you just get a text and reply to it that fast?
Yeah, it was Ariel.
Dude, it's super unattractive when you reply too fast. Like, aren't you listening to anything I say?
I don't really like Ariel like that, though. I mean, I'm kind of into Jasmine, just to be honest, but I think she's way into you.
If you want to holla at Jasmine, you go right on ahead, okay? I got gals in different locales. You know who you talking to? Prince Alibaba.
Why is it so hard to get a boyfriend nowadays? I'm a total package, except without the package.
Is that Aladdin?
Ugh, no. It's Flynn Rider.
Oh, girl, he's kind of cute. What did he say?
What it do, Cookie Boo? ...
He's totally flirting right now.
But I don't like Flynn like that, though. I like Aladdin. Okay, now he's saying you want to come over later and play COD. What does that mean?
Ew! He wants you to play with fish?
Boys are weird.